right, y'all. We get praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahuah HaMashiach. We'll pick us up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and there they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, and you receive me not. But if another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had to believe Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how could you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahuah HaMashiach. Shalom, Jay. Shalom, nigga. 1 Chronicles 28 and 19.
All this said David, Yahuah made me understand in writing by his hand upon me,
Right.
even all the works of this pattern.
Right.
And David said to Solomon his son, be strong and of good courage and do it. Fear not, nor be dismayed, for Yahuah Elohim, even my Elohim, will be with you.
We kept on going. I ain't need all that. Read verse 19 again.
I said, all this said David, Yahuah made me understand in writing.
Made me understand in writing.
By his hand upon me,
all
the works of this pattern.
All the words of this pattern. Do me a favor, man. Shalom, Brandon, man. Get me what that is. Romans 8, man. Verse 24, man. Great. Of course, you know we're dealing with the pattern and we're looking at all the things in the house that pertain to the pattern. I know Wednesday we started talking about the anointing oil, but we made a diversion into something in 1 Kings 6. And I'll come back to the things that's in 1 Kings 6. But we'll get back to the anointing oil. But I asked you to read something specific. I really need you to read Exodus 25 and 8 first, and then whatever I asked you to read. Dwayne, come on. And let tell Mama Steph, hey? No, you're going to be a baby.
Saying, let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them.
That I might what?
Dwell among them, according to all that I show you, after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall you make it.
Listen, so we're talking about how the aspect of that, the tabernacle of congregation, the temple of Yahuah, which the construction and framework and the pattern are exactly the same, are showing a framework of how he actually wanted to dwell amongst you. And that all those things in that temple are representative of things of how we're supposed to actually be. This is why he told you he don't dwell in temple made with hands. This again does not mean that you don't build a sanctuary as forth to worship him in. That some people be like, the first church went house to house. They did go house to house, but in some of those cities they had synagogues and they went in there. You know what I'm saying? They went house to house because that's a different conversation. People don't realize, you know what I'm saying? Shalom, Rohan. Shalom, Brother Robert. Shalom, Jessica. Listen, we could read like when Josiah sent Levites out into the cities to teach. I'll bring it up a little bit. People reference that house to house, but it's not like how people frame it in the 21st century. See, people look at a house because, we don't went house to house, but that's just having service. But when they went house to house, all these people lived in a general vicinity of one another. If you recall, and we can read it in a little bit, in Matthew 10, he told them, whoever's house you go into and they receive you, eat what they put in front of you and don't go from house to house. Because the men who ministered the word actually were ministering the word amongst people who they lived around. See, case in point, we live in a subdivision called Wells Landing. Here's the difference. Everybody out here is not what you would call an Israelite and or a believer, if you would, to perform what they did in the first century, because that's what they would have done. See, we would have been in this house and we just would have been going from house to house, sitting in there with people, teaching them the word. You understand what I'm telling you? When they went house to house, that's what they were doing. Not we're having service like a called out assembly from house. Peace, Brother Omar. A called out assembly from house to house. These men were going from house to house in communities, teaching people the word. These niggas ain't doing that, and they ain't never gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? This is not standing on no corner. This is literally, you are amongst a group of people who you serve, and you're going from their homes, offering them the opportunity of eternal life. That's what they were doing. And I focus on these things for a reason, because you need to know explicitly and specifically and directly what they were actually doing versus the image that we like to create in our mind, what we thought they were doing. Listen, if you would have heard this nigga Charles last night on this video that dude made, while he would, man, this man say, if you participate in monogamy, you side with Satan. And I wouldn't have believed it unless I heard it myself. Now, I'm not saying that to rag Charles, because I'm not calling this nigga no pastor. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not doing it. The reason why I mention that is, if you want to be in a polygynous relationship, that's your business. But when you try to move certain things, this man say we'll have power with God if you got 3 wives, bro. Now, I'm mentioning this here because this is why you need to know the word so you don't fall for oofy, goofy stuff like that, man. You ain't got no power with God because you got 3, 4 wives, boy. This man say if we do this, then we could take over cities and townships and buy houses, buy land. This is what the man said. This man said you can be a governor of a city. Ain't no governor in no city, nigga. And this is what I mean when I be telling y'all, just don't bob your head to the beat. Listen to what they're saying to you. That's real to you. That's how they be getting people, because y'all don't listen to what these people are saying to you. He said one of my close friends and her husband them just left there. Praise you. I'm not even finna mention their name because their name ain't worth mentioning. You know what I'm saying? But I heard this last night. That was wild to me. It was wild that you gonna fix your mouth to say that. Let me show you what the book say power is, man. Do me a favor before you read Romans 8 and 24. Read me Romans 14 and about 16. Let me make sure that's what it is. I'm gonna just let the book tell you what this man say power is. It ain't by, and again, we don't advocate for multiple wives, but if that's what you own, that's your business. I generally do not care. You know what I'm saying? Let me let that be known first quarter, because I don't care. Because if you gonna agree with it and she gonna agree with it, y'all can deal with the Lord with that. You know what I'm talking about? And he can take care of that for you. Romans 14 is really 1 Corinthians I need, but Romans 14 and 17.
For the kingdom of Elohim is not meat and drink.
It's not what?
It's not meat.
So if it's not meat and drink, you got to know it ain't marriage and coitus. Come on, man.
But righteousness and shalom.
It's what?
Righteousness and shalom.
And what else?
And joy in the Ruach HaKodesh.
And joy in the what?
In the Ruach HaKodesh.
And joy in the what?
In the Ruach HaKodesh.
My God. Today. Come on, man. 1 Corinthians chapter 4. Verse 18. Go ahead.
Now some are puffed up as though I would not come to you, but I will come to you shortly, if the Lord will, and will know, not the speech of them which are puffed up, but the power. For the kingdom of Elohim is not in word, but in power. What will you? Shall I come unto you with a rod, or in love, and in the ruach of meekness?
If we think the power of God, because in Zechariah 4 and 6, he said, not by might, nor by power, but by my ruach, saith Yahuah. If you think power come by who you married to, or how many people you married to, shalom, Brother Marvin, you is absolutely insane. But see, some people going to hear that, and they going to run off tackle and be like, well, the forefathers have no... You missing the point, blood. It's not about that. That man said you'll have power with God if you have 2, 3 wives, bro. And you have to be a special type of stupid to believe that. Because at that point, how did Yahushua have power? He had no wife. He had one. Come on back to Romans 8, man. That's why I say, man, y'all better stop bobbing your head to the beat. You better stop getting enamored by XYZ, and you better listen to what these people saying to you. And that ain't just with no word. That's in everything, man. Like I said, man, I've been completely disheartened about seeing the literacy rate of people in general. You know what I'm saying? But I got something that y'all willing I'm planning to do this summer. You know what I'm saying? At least for the churn. I'll tell y'all about it tomorrow. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all, the Lord willing, y'all willing. You know what I'm talking about? Because listen, man. You say long list of cats don't fit that description. Who you telling? Listen, man, let me tell you something, man. The level of misinformed or underinformed people is I'm not gonna lie, that junk's kind of vexing to my soul, and not in an angry type of way. That junk make me sad, boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that junk bad, bro. We don't even have a delight to learn nothing. Nothing, man. I'm talking about you just want to be entertained while the people in the world were just gonna rule over you and you just satisfied with it. Niggas don't know the history of the people who they come from. Niggas read the Bible every day and barely know the history of them people. You don't know how the world work around you. You just in it. God damn it. Come on, Cindy, man. Romans 8 and 24. No, you can get straight to 26, man.
Say, likewise, the rock also help our infirmity to pray for as we ought, but the rock itself make intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searched the hearts to know what is the mind of the Ruach, because he make intercession for us according to the will of Elohim. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Elohim, to them who are called according to his purpose. Mm-hmm. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
To be what?
Conformed to the image of his son.
Give him conform to image by definition in Greek.
Conformed is sumorphos, having the same form as another. Conformed to, fashioned like unto.
Make like unto it. Make it like the pattern I showed you in the mouth. Huh? Go ahead.
And then image is icon, an image, figure, or likeness.
That's what we read for the definition of pattern. That's what it means, an image or likeness. I want you to be made like the image or likeness of my son. I'm mentioning this because in John chapter 2, he said, and he spake of the tabernacle of his body. So when we look at make this tabernacle like the pattern I showed you in the mount, and if Yahushua is representative of the house, we have to be conformed to that image or the likeness or the pattern that he showed you in the mount. And that's what each one of these vessels, whether it's the altar that we read about, the anointing oil, the priestly garments, the mercy seat, all of these things, we have to be conformed to that image. The same way that you see the mercy seat mean, Kippareth mean seat of reconciliation, and what Yahushua teach you. Amen. If your brother offends you, forgive him 70 times 7. You know what he said? If you won't forgive your brother your trespasses, Elohim won't forgive yours. Why? Because that's representative of what should be in the Kadash of your heart, which is the seat of reconciliation. Because that's what should be in the temple. See, everybody caught up on this other stuff, man, and those stuff, and you got to do that stuff. But you ain't a vessel meet for the master's use. You're not a tongue he can use. You're not a flesh and hook he can use. Because you don't want to purge yourself, because you want to hold on to everything. I haven't said this in a while, but I'm going to say it right now. Most of y'all are too concerned about what you got to give up and not what you're going to gain. And that's why you're going to go to hell. Because he told you that where the Ruach of Mashiach is, there is freedom. What sacrifice you know you're not going to lose something? Yahushua say, hey, man, I lay my life down that I might pick it up again. So I'm willing to sacrifice this to pick it back up so that I can be able to make you rich through my poverty. And you don't want to give nothing up for the man. You want to hold on to everything. And for what? Because you got low self-esteem, because of a poor self-image, because of pride and selfishness, because of rebellion and hard-heartedness. What is your rhyme, reason, and excuse for doing such a thing when you around here boasting and proclaiming about a man who sacrificed himself for you and he ain't get nothing in return? Because what he got back in return, what's in it? He already had it. So he did that so you can have access to it. And you can't even give up your life. My God, today. Oh, man. Yeah, for sure, man. Y'all give you strength, man. I hate to hear that. But I can tell you like this here, man. You just got to keep on pushing, man. Everybody done been there, man. You know what I'm saying? But when you sit back and look at it, man, you more than likely got thoughts that's suffocating your mind and you just want to turn them off. But that's when you got to sit down, man. You know what I'm saying? With people who can understand what you're dealing with, what you're going through. You feel me? Cause shoot, man, it ain't, man, that done no last but for a short period of time. Oh, when it come to that, shoot, ain't no you can come up and get saved. That's not how that works. You feel me? But let's work this here, man. Just hold on for a second, man. You know what I'm saying? He said he having a major issue. He said he been thinking about taking himself out. You know, getting saved ain't just coming up confessing something, man. You know what I'm saying? You get saved, you're getting delivered from a particular way of life by making a confession of faith and saying you're going to live a certain type of way. It ain't really how they do it in a church house and say you come up there and then somebody play some music and you say some stuff and you say it. That ain't really how that works. You know what I'm saying? It's a false impression. Being saved is being saved from sin and death by making a proclamation of faith and saying that I'm going to live and forsake the old and living way for a new way. You know what I'm saying? But I say, man, if you want to talk something, you know what I'm saying, you can holler at me private. You ain't got to do that in the open, man. Yeah, you can call my phone if you're going to do that. But we got to keep on rolling what we're doing. If you need somebody to talk to, you can holler at me, man. Where we need to go at, Civic? Come back to 1 Kings chapter 6. Shoot, I know how that is, man. It's real out here. But I say, man, you need to holler at me, let me know, man. I put the phone number in there for you. You call my phone. If you call me right now, obviously I ain't gonna be able to talk to you until we get finished, man. What's up, baby? But I definitely can sit down and rap with you, though. What is it? I'm not. It's Chronicles, man. What is what? 1 Kings 6 and 4. Just read that. It's verse 7, but.
It's saying, for the house he made windows of narrow lights, and against the wall of the house he built chambers round about, against the walls of the house round about, both of the temple and of the oracle, and he made chambers round about. The nethermost chamber was 5 cubits broad, the middle was 6 cubits broad, and the third was 7 cubits broad. For without in the wall of the house he made narrow rests round about, that the beams should not be fastened in the walls of the house. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stone made ready before it was brought there, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building.
Listen, we talked about this Wednesday, right? This house was in building, was made of stone, made ready before. What did that made ready mean? It was shalom. This was perfect, complete, whole stones. Came that way. No tool touched it. Now, we talked about that with the altar in Exodus 20 as it relates to why he had to be born of a virgin. All right, I ain't even see him comment. Oh, Jit done slid. I'd have to message it to him. Now, think about that, right? And I think we read in another space where in Exodus 20 where it said that stone was whole. And it was shalom again. Perfect, complete, whole stone. You know what I'm saying? And you lively stones. You know what I'm talking about? So this is what type of stone that we have to be. But as we continue on and what we talking about, and we ain't got to run more down stuff on 1 Kings 6. Let's get to this anointing oil that we were discussing the other day. Because brother asked me about this. I was like, he didn't even know that we had to go over this anyway. Look at that. Read back to Exodus 30 and 17.
And Yahuah spake unto Moses, saying, you shall make a laver of brass, and his foot also of brass, to wash withal.
Now we talk about this is why he washed his disciples' feet. Why? Because he was washing them into the ministry. To be high priest, if you would. Because all intents and purposes, right? Yahushua is the high priest. But Aaron has sons. And that's who the apostles represent. And they have to be in the priesthood of Melchizedek. For all intents and purposes, apostles is equivalent to what a high priest would be in the old covenant. because that's the highest position of the ministry in the old covenant, is to be the high priest. You had your high priest, you had your Levites, and you had your prophets. And then you had judges, but judges don't teach. So that's what you had. High priest is the highest. When you get in the new covenant, you have what? Apostles, prophets, teachers. Read that there because I said it wrong. 1 Corinthians 12 and 28. Then Ephesians 4 and what it is, 14. Go ahead.
Now he have set some of the assembly, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers.
What else?
After that, miracles.
That's good. That's all we need as far as instruction is concerned. Shalom, Sister Virginia. Apostles, prophets, and teachers. You know what I'm talking about? Give me Ephesians 4 and 14.
See that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine.
Make it 11. Shalom, that.
And he gave some apostles, some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers.
You see that that's how it's set. Just showing this here. So come back to Exodus 30 and 17. We're just looking at certain things from the law. Why did they do that? Why did Yahuah? Because a lot of people trip on that. Why he washing these men's hands and feet? Because it's in the law, cuz. If these men gonna labor in the ministry, this is what has to be done. Go ahead, man. Exodus 30 and 17. And Yahuah spake.
Under Moses saying,
you shall also make
a laver of brass
and his foot
also
to do what?
Wash withal.
And you shall put it
between the tabernacle of the congregation
and the
altar. You shall put water therein.
For Aaron.
And the sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat.
Wash their what?
Their hands and their feet thereat.
And I guess you can understand why Peter said, get not only my feet, Lord, but get my hands and my head too. Go ahead, man.
When they go into the tabernacle of the congregation, they shall wash with water.
They'll do what?
Wash with water.
That they what?
Die not.
Or when they come near
to the altar to minister,
to burn,
offering made by fire unto Yahuah.
You see how that works? Go ahead.
So they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not.
It shall be a what?
A statute forever to them, even to him and to his seed.
That's why I say if they would have believed Moses, they would have believed me for he wrote of me. But see, we see these things and we don't ask ourselves, why is he washing their feet? Because it's not just in there just to be in there. It's in there for a reason, because these men are literally ministering in the high priest's office as a quote-unquote new covenant equivalent. Because you're in the priesthood of Melchizedek. The priesthood of Melchizedek doesn't have tribal affiliation. You understand? Because there's no worldly sanctuary for anyone to serve in. Because when you look at Melchizedek, you don't read, at least in Genesis, where it is referring to any worldly sanctuary that he was serving in. Because the aspect of worldly sanctuary and things of that nature, that's something that we care about. And again, I'm referencing again that back when he said, I don't read it for him, man. Isaiah 60:61. I let the book tell it to you.
Thus saith Yahuah, Shamahin is my throne, the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that you built unto me? Where is the place of my rest?
Stop. Then he said in Isaiah 40, man, I'm Yahuah, man. I don't get weary. I don't need no rest. Give him rest by definition right now.
It is Menukah, a resting place.
What he need a resting place for? What do he need that for? Now, I mention this here because you got to sit back, you got to pause, and you got to wait, and you got to consider. Because we already read in Exodus 25, he said, build a sanctuary, so what? That I might dwell amongst them. But in Isaiah 26, he told you he want to walk among you and dwell among you. We read the same thing in 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. Because it was never about a physical location. That man never cared about no burnt offerings and sacrifices, no sin offerings, or none of that. Because what did he want to dwell and slime and mortar and brick for? When he would want to dwell in that which he created and made in his image and likeness. That's why Yahushua said what he said in John 14. Amen. And we'll make our abode with him and we will dwell with them. Because that's what he desired to do. But you have to actually do like what you read, what Hezekiah and all them did, man. And that's clean that doggone place out so that it can be fit for him to come dwell in. And you can't be doing this stuff by reason of appearance. See, because if you do things begrudgingly, do this for me, see, bump it, man. 1 Chronicles 28:8. If you do things begrudgingly, that man ain't accepting that. That's what people's problem is. You want them to, like we talked about last week, man. You know what I'm saying? Now I use some stuff on the natural side, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, a lot of you men accept things that you don't want or less than what you want, and you just do it with a smile. And I ain't talking about no goofy stuff about no food and all this whole other stuff, man. I'm talking about you habitually and consistently lower standards, man, so that you can have access to yams or so you don't have conflict. And then you try to act like you satisfied with that. Yet consequently, if this woman want XYZ from you and you give her less, you gonna bend your back to make sure she get it, and you think that's being a man because a goofy told you that. You know what I'm talking about? Now this ain't about stepping on no woman's neck and doing no extra stuff, but bro, you can't be on that, man, because God ain't doing that, bro. I'm telling you, he ain't doing it, and you know that. Y'all been around here long enough to know that, because everybody here know the story of Cain, man. And you've been conditioned to think that that's being ungrateful or being rude or being mean. But really what you've been conditioned to do is to compromise on the standard. And think that's what you're supposed to do, and that make you a man by saying, I know I ain't really want that, but you know, she did her best. Instead of saying, I appreciate the effort. Because Yahuah didn't disrespect Cain, he just didn't accept it. And he told him, if you do well, you'll be accepted. But if not, hey man, sin lie at the door. And we can't even comprehend in our mind that if you brought a gift to God, God will look you in your face and tell you that, yeah, cuz I'm not taking that. If you would have did what I told you to do, I would have took that. But since not, offense lie at the door, man. No, I'm not taking that. See, that sounds harsh when you say it out loud, but no, that's not what I require. I only say that because you've been socialized by this particular society to give that woman above and beyond what she desires, but you take less. And that makes you a real man. No, it makes you a jackass and an idiot. You know what I'm saying? And you know why I say that? Because you walk around with resentment and bitterness for years because of it. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes you the idiot, because you didn't really want that. But you walk around acting like you cool with that, and you start doing and saying, you know, malicious and spiteful things because of the underlying resentment, because you feel unappreciated, undervalued, and not respected, because you won't plainly and succinctly proclaim what it is that you want and how you won't take any less than that. Because if you feel like if you do that, that means you're not being a man, and you let these people convince you of that. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? My mama them didn't teach me that. I ain't going for that. I ain't never went. I'm not going for that. No, I don't want that. I appreciate you though, but I don't want that. You know what I want. You know what I like. Why would you do that? So we had a conversation all the time, man. Don't buy me no socks. Talk about grown nigga talking about he cool with somebody. It's a special occasion and nigga bring you socks and drawers. And you lying to yourself talking about that's a great gift. Get the hell out of here, man. Because you know you don't want that. I'm only telling you that because that's how you treat your God. You think you can run up on your God and bring him socks and drawers, and he's supposed to be happy with that. Why he don't want that? That's not what he told you to bring him for no gift. You know what he told you to bring him for a gift? Bring the sacrifice of praise. Bring the sacrifices of righteousness. Bring the sacrifice of a contrite heart. That's what he told you to bring. Not bring me anything. And he said, when you bring it, you better not bring it with a wicked mind. Because he said, that's an abomination to me. And it better not have no spot, wrinkle, or blemish in it, because that's an abomination to me. And I'm not going to take it. So I'm only mentioning these natural things so you could get out of your mind that you could do God like that. You can't bring this man, because that's what a sacrifice was. It was a gift. You're giving a gift to God, essentially. You know what I'm talking about? And you think you're just going to bring this man anything? Read some of them sacrifices and them gifts I'm talking about. Psalms 51, right? verse 17. After that, Hebrews 13 and 12. You know what I'm saying? Then Jeremiah 33 and 10. Go ahead, man.
The sacrifices of Elohim are broken ruach, are broken in a contrite heart. O Elohim, you will not despise.
He ain't gonna despise that. Come on.
To do good in your good pleasure in the Zion, build you the walls of Jerusalem.
That's right.
Then shall you be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness.
He'll be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness.
And whole burnt offerings. Then shall they offer bullocks upon your altar.
Come on, man. Give me Hebrew 13 and 12, man.
So wherefore Yahuah shall also, that he might sanctify the people with his own blood, suffer without the gate.
Out the gate.
Let us go forth.
It's verse 17, matter of fact. You gotta read all that. My bad.
So obey them that have the rule over you, submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account.
That don't sound right. Read me 14, because I don't need all that.
For here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. By him, therefore, let us offer the sacrifice of praise
there it is.
To Elohim continually.
Continually.
That is the fruit of our lips, giving thanks to his name.
That's the gift he wants you to give. You did? Peace, East, man. That's the gifts he wants you to give. What's the last one I asked you for? Oh, Jeremiah 33 and 10. And after that, 1 Chronicles 28 and 8. Yeah, that's all the reason because that's the best natural correlation I got. And plus, because I be telling dudes that, man, stop saying you happy with drawers and socks, man, and you know that you're not, bro. It's okay to tell that lady what you want, man. Because truth be told, man, if you out here sacrificing and grinding and pushing and pulling and doing X, Y, Z, and the only thing that this woman can think of you is drawers and socks, man, she don't even fool with you like that, blood. She don't even fool with you like that. That's all I'm worth to you. It's some drawers and some goddamn socks. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. I say, man, you pick up drawers and socks on a random Tuesday. You know what I'm talking about? You pick them up on a random Tuesday. You don't walk up with nobody and give that to them for no gift. No, sir. I don't never understood how men accepted that. I got my daddy a tie. I'm going to hang you with that same tie you brought in here, boy. Bring me no damn tie, nigga. What if I don't even wear suits? And if at least you going to buy me a tie, nigga, you need to buy me a pocket square and some cufflinks. Nigga, complete the set. You don't walk in here with this no tie, man. You got to buy the whole thing. I'm talking about a tie bar. If you're going to buy a tie, you got to buy the tie bar, the cufflinks, you know what I'm talking about, and the pocket square. And a pocket square, man. If you know I wear suits, that's how you got to do that. You don't come in here, here's 3 ties, daddy. You ain't get no tie bar. No cufflinks. Cufflinks don't even cost that much. You ain't got to get no diamond encrusted cufflinks, man. You could have got the pocket square to go with it. At least I know you took some. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you fly, daddy. You just got me some ties because that's what. Get your daddy some ties. I'm going to hang you and her. Yeah, man, that's what we're going to do, man. I'm going to hang both of y'all because y'all tripping. I don't even know, is there a woman equivalent to a tie? You know, that's what if I went to the store? Let's get your mama some aprons. You know what I'm saying? Let's get her some aprons. That's what she's looking for, some aprons. Now, how'd you feel if your husband for a gift came in here and bought you gave you, what is it? Some aprons, nigga. You don't even cook with an apron on. You don't even wear an apron. Nigga got you a smock. Let me stop, man. Go ahead, everybody.
Thus saith Yahuah, again there shall be heard in this place, which you shall say, be desolate without man, without beast, even the cities of Yehuda, and in the streets of Jerusalem that are desolate, without man, without inhabitant, and without beast.
Right.
The voice of joy, the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom,
the
voice of the bride,
the
voice of them that shall say, praise Yahuah of hosts, for Yahuah is good, for his mercy endure forever.
Right.
And of them that shall bring the sacrifice of praise.
The sacrifice of who?
Of praise.
I just want you to hear it again. What else?
Into the house of Yahuah, for I will cause to return the captivity of the land, as at the first, saith
Yahuah. And I'm only mentioning that. I mentioned the natural stuff. I'm being funny, but at the same time, it's about the mindset, not about what the person giving you. The truth be told, if you genuinely want drawers and socks and that's acceptable to you, then that's fine. But we talk about the mindset of how you can come and give things that are unacceptable and think that you should be praised for it and that I should just take it when you know that before you brought it, it was unacceptable. So what I'm saying is when you have a natural frame of mind of doing that, you'll start doing Yahuah like that and say, I'm going to bring less than what is acceptable and he should be satisfied with it. So you bring less than satisfactory effort, less than acceptable worship, less than acceptable Garak, meaning your way of life, because you don't want to sacrifice nothing. And you think the sacrifice that you did make, which was in actuality no sacrifice at all, you know what I'm talking about? Because that's what you're supposed to pick up with Cain. That wasn't no sacrifice on Cain's part, because the best parts he kept. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to give that to you. And this is the crazy part when you look at the sacrifices of Yahushua as juxtaposition to us. Because you're supposed to offer your life as a living sacrifice. You're supposed to sacrifice your worst so that he can give you his best. And you want to hold on to your worst and expect him to give you his best. Well, you smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? You smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? Or you on Molly, you done lost your brain. Because when you're making your life as a living sacrifice, you are literally sacrificing the worst elements of yourself. Your pride, your selfishness, your disobedience, your desires that are contrary to his will. You giving all that up so that you can get love, joy, peace, righteousness, you know what I'm saying, reconciliation, the Ruach HaKodesh, the everlasting life, and you think you could keep your worst and get his best simultaneously. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. You cannot boast in this man being crucified and you not willing to give nothing up. Because you can't, the man said, hey man, he that hate his life in this world will gain it to life eternal, and he that love his life shall lose it. See, people thought that was referring to your actual physical life. This man talking about, man, you got to hate your desires in this present world and you'll keep your life. But if you love your life, you love everything that you desire that's contrary to his will, you're going to go to hell because you're not going to give it up. So then you have to ask yourself, the things that you're holding on to, is it really worth losing God to keep them? Because you can keep them, but you're going to sacrifice Yahushua in keeping that. So you have to ask yourself, is it that important? And it's not the items that's the thing that you should be paying attention to. It's the mindset of why you want to keep the items in the first place. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. It's the thought process, man. Because that thought process is going to metastasize into other things. It's going to, you know what I'm talking about? And it's going to spread like a cancer. And you know what cancer do to cells? It suck all the oxygen out of them until the organ dies. And that's what sin gonna do to you. That's what lust gonna do to you. That's what pride do to you. That's what unbelief do to you. That's what selfishness do to you. That's what resentment and bitterness and anger do to you. That's what it do to you, man. Facts. Ain't nothing a man could put in his mouth, make him unclean, is what come out of him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to pay attention to. And we don't pay attention to it. And I'm glad he mentioned that passage. And you know why we don't pay attention to it? Because too many dudes want to sit back and argue with Christians. Bro, this man Charles last night say, y'all talking about in the book say God hate divorce, but he's a divorcee. Nigga should have slapped him with a Bible. Slapped him with a Bible, bro. Man told you abundance of the heart, the mouth speak, but y'all don't be paying attention. Some of y'all don't even pay attention to nobody with no word, period. Because you just like this here, you tiddly dumb, whoa, because you only want to fool with the people you know. Now, I ain't saying you got to sit around and listen to every nigga preach, but boy, you need to be aware of the minds of the people around you, though. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to necessarily go search it out and spend hours and ends on it, man. But how you going to be able to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove if the only people you want to be akin to is the people who you know? You ain't going to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? You remember, you don't know that song, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to know how to room in a room full of vultures. You know that line? You don't know about H to the Izzo.
It isn't.
He knew that one. I had to see if I could catch him slipping. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's really just about human psychology, man, and human nature and things of that nature. And it's always good to be able to, because sometimes when you just stay dealing with the people that you know, you don't peep the game from people or what type of time they be on. You know what I'm saying? Because you really think you protecting yourself by staying away from roundings, man, but you got to be able to peep the play. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to peep the play. Sometimes some people can't, you know. I don't want y'all to get caught down bad out here, man. You feel me? Because these niggas be wild out here. When I say niggas, I mean that in the literal sense. They be wilding out here, man. You know what I'm saying? People on some other type of time. Come on with it. First Chronicle 28:8.
So now, therefore, in the sight of all Yasharal, the congregation of Yahuah, and in the audience of our Elohim, keep and seek for all the commandments of Yahuah your Elohim, that you may possess this good land, and leave it for an inheritance for your children after you forever. And you, Solomon, my son, know you the Elohim of your father, and serve him with a perfect heart.
Perfect heart. Willing mind.
For Yahuah search all hearts and understand all the imaginations of the thoughts.
Listen.
If you seek him, he'll be found of you.
But if you
forsake him,
he will
cast you off forever.
Listen, man, that man say he try your heart, man. He's searching it. He's searching your inward man, and he know all the machinations, plots, and plans you can come up with. So you're not fooling him. Like I said in Hebrews, he said everything is open and naked to whom we have to do. So I don't know who you think you fooling, because you ain't fooling me, because I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't care enough to be fooled. You know what I mean by that? I don't care enough to do all this extra searching and this, that, there, and the third to be able to try to decipher if you serious or not. I'm not finna be doing no diligent search of your heart to see what they imagine. I ain't doing that. Ain't my job. That's not my job. We know what try the thoughts and it makes a discerner of the thoughts and the intents of the heart. It's that word. The word gonna show what's in your heart every single solitary time, man. Read it for them, see. They think we're making it up. Hebrews 4:12, we ain't making nothing up, man. I care about you as an individual. I don't care enough to be doing no diligent search on what you got going on, though. I don't care enough to do that. That's not my job.
Say, for the word of Elohim is quick and powerful, and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and ruach,
into the
joints and marrow,
and is a
discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart.
Tell them what thoughts and intents is, man. Yeah, that's not my job. That's God's job. I'm gonna let him do it.
Thoughts is enthumasis, a thinking, a consideration, or thoughts, deliberation.
You say that word gonna show your thoughts, your deliberation.
And then intent is enoia, that is the act of thinking, consideration, meditation, a thought, a notion, a conception.
That man said, hey man, that book gonna show it. That book gonna show it. Because I always tell y'all this, because if you read this book, especially on the Matthew to Revelation side, though Genesis to Malachi side, speak on it a lot as well. Everything is always rooted in your mentality, your thoughts, your intents, your lead. What coming from up out of here? And the small things and this, that, and the third that you try to justify in your mind is really showing the intents of your heart that this ain't really what you want to do. It has to go past, oh, we the children of Israel, Yahusha, all this other stuff, man. Man, it's got to be really locked in. Man, you got to serve him with a ready heart and a willing mind, man. Like this really what you want to do. You got to have a perfect lev. Y'all know what that mean there, man. That's a tamayim lev. And with kafats, you got to take pleasure in the things that he take pleasure in. That's why I say you got to be, it's a whole stone. It's a stone made ready. These stones are perfect and complete. Why? Because they serving this man with a perfect heart. When your heart perfect, you complete and you whole. So that means you a lively stone that can offer up spiritual sacrifices in that house. But if you ain't got a perfect lev, you ain't got that tamayim lev, then you're not going to be a whole stone. That means a tool going to be upon it. That means you polluted, boy. That means you polluted. And we don't consider that because what polluting you is your thoughts, man. Just like brother mentioned, right? We all know it. We read the Mark 7 as often as we can. Shalom, brother Shaul. It's not what go in your mouth that defile you, but what come out. What's in your heart, man? On general principle, Civic. Mark 7:17. And again, as we were reading, because reading with the washing the feet and the hands, go back to what we were talking about a couple of weeks ago about the diverse washings and the carnal ordinances. Remember, like what Peter said, he said as baptism, which don't wash away the filth of the flesh, but of a good conscience towards Elohim. Because you did this to have a good mind towards God. Why? Because I'm going to live in a new and a living way. Because this is rooted in your thought process of what you're doing and why you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because truth be told, if we was to be on some strict, you unclean, you can't do this, could nobody come serve and worship God for real? Just like I said, not unless you unmarried. And even still, when you going out and about, you don't know if you done shook hands with somebody who just ejaculated and he didn't bathe. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest with you. You don't know if this woman on her cycle and you just gave her a hug. Because it's not like women walk around and announce arbitrarily, I'm on my menstrual cycle. So now you going about touching Kadash things and this, that, there, and the third, and you supposed to die. Because that's what nobody tell you. The only thing about being unclean is you couldn't touch holy things. Well, if you touch them holy things, that book say you supposed to die. So then understand the mercy of your Elohim. What did that mean? What does it mean? If he said, hey, man, this was imposed on them until the time of Reformation. That man trying to make it so that you can come near unto him, man. Like I told you, a dude say, man, she can't come in here. She on the period. She unclean, and you the preacher. Well, you live with her. You literally got in the bed with this woman, man, and let her prepare your food, man. And you looking at her, you ain't looking at yourself. You's a goofy. You's a goofy. And guess what else that is, Stevie? That's an unjust weight and an unjust balance, man. That's an abomination, blood. My God, today. See, some of y'all gonna miss the point. My point is your thought process. Because he thought that was righteous to say that out of his mouth. He never stopped to consider, whoa, before he said that. Come on, man, Mark 7:17. Because it's not about the individual, man. It's the thought, because these thought processes get pushed and permeated. Go ahead, man.
He said, when he was entered into the house from the people, his disciples asked him concerning the parable.
What
he said unto them, are you so without understanding also? Do you not perceive that whatsoever thing from without enter into the man, it cannot defile?
It can't defile you, man.
Because it enter not into his heart.
Not into his what?
Not into his heart.
And what else?
But into the belly and go out into the drop.
You boo-boo that out.
He said, that which come out of the man, that defiled.
What that is then?
From within, out of the heart of men.
Evil
thoughts, adulteries, fornication,
what else?
Murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness,
deceit,
lasciviousness,
you lustful bastard,
an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and
foolishness.
All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
You got to get off, and you got to sacrifice all that. You got to purge that out so you can be a vessel meet for the master's use. That man can't use you. Listen, hold on. Come over here to 2 Kings. I think it's 12. Hold on. Let me make sure that's what I want, man. Before we even get to rolling and grooving. Come to 2 Chronicles chapter 29, man. 2 Chronicles chapter 29, man, verse 12, man. 2 Chronicles 29 and 12, man. We still holding in Exodus 30, man. We're going to get to this anointing oil. We're going to try to touch everything that pertains to the house on this one, man. Anything that comes to my mind, that's what we're going to do. Come on with it, blood.
Then the Levites arose, Mahath, the son of Amasai, and Joel, the son of Azariah, of the sons of the Kohathites, and of the sons of Merari, Kish, the son of Abdi, Azariah, the son
Shalom,
of
Brother Marcus.
Jehalelel, and of the Gershonites, Joel, the son of Zamah, and Eden, the son of Joel, the sons of Elizaphan, Shimri.
Hold on, do me a favor, Jimmy. Back up to verse 4. Make it 3. Back up to verse 3, man. I need to touch on some things before we do this, man. Come on with it.
He, in the first year of his reign, in the first month, opened the doors of the house of Yahuah and repaired them.
Tell him what repaired means, man.
That is kazah.
Y'all know that's strengthening it. So listen, when you're dealing with the men who minister the house, do me a favor. 1 Corinthians 3 and 15. Then after that, 2 Corinthians 6 and 17, 6 and 16, just because. Go ahead.
He said, if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer
Back
loss.
it up to 9. I got you in the wrong spot. 1 Corinthians 3 and 9. My bad, y'all. 1 Corinthians 3 and 9. My fault.
For we are laborers together with Elohim. You are Elohim's husbandry. You are Elohim's building.
Come on.
According to the grace of Elohim, which is given unto me as a wise master builder.
Wise master builder.
I have laid the foundation, and another build thereupon. But let every man take heed how he build thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahuah HaMashiach.
Right.
Now, if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest.
Right.
The day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire.
Listen.
And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
Man, amen. Man, a man said he searched the thoughts and imaginations of the heart, right? So trials and tribulations and sufferings gonna see what manner of building you is. And we already talked about that, man. The silver get to go through the refiner to get the dross off. See, you don't realize, a lot of people don't realize in the word, man, a lot of stuff you dealing with is to get that stuff that you need to sacrifice up out you, and you still trying to hold on to it. You in a burning house, and instead of saying, you know what, I'm gonna get out with my life, you trying to save your TV. You trying to grab your favorite shoes. You trying to see what you can grab and keep. Boy, you better leave that stuff in there and let it be burned, boy. Man, you better suffer that loss so you can save your life. My God, today. Come on with it, blood.
He said, if any man's work abide, which he shall have built thereupon, he shall receive a reward.
Right.
If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved.
Saved.
Yet so as by fire.
Listen.
Know you not that you are the temple of Elohim?
You are the temple of
And
God.
that the Ruach of Elohim dwell in you? If any man defile the temple of Elohim, him shall Elohim destroy.
Now, we came to read that when he say that you are the temple of God, because those who do that work, they're supposed to come in there and repair that house or strengthen it. Remember, he said, if you did this to the least of these, my brethren, you did it unto me. That's the object. Remember, I always keep telling y'all recently, man, you know what I'm saying? That effectively, man, to be a preacher, man, it's just a job, blood. But it's a service job. And your job is to strengthen and repair the people, to close up the breaches, to actually set the people back at one to God. As Paul said, he's given us the ministry of reconciliation. And remember, we talked about that because you can see that with the Levites, because they had the ministry of reconciliation, because that's what they were doing on atonement every year. That's why when you had to do certain things and they said they would make an atonement for you, because that's reconciliation. So the aspect of what Paul is saying, that he's given us the service of reconciliation, is not a new covenant thing, because it was set in the law from the jump street. But a lot of brothers who deal with the word, they don't understand that. That's why this man can say, you know, the patriarch, the elder, and everybody. You niggas want somebody to praise you, man. You want somebody to tell you how great you is, man. Man, let Yahushua do that, man, and go do your job, blood. And if you don't want to serve, don't sign up for the job. Don't be looking for the job for somebody to pat you on your back, man. That's different if you want to get patted on your back for what you do for your family and your community. I ain't got nothing to say about that. If you want to be acknowledged and appreciated for your efforts, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just want you to know that. As a man, if you want to say, hey, I want you to say, I appreciate you, daddy. I appreciate you, baby. I thank you for what you do for our family and this, that, there, and the third. And that's something that you desire to hear. You're not wrong for that if you want to hear that. And I'm saying that is, if that's something that you want, you need to express that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men don't express that, and you walk around upset and spiraling out of control because you feel like your family don't appreciate you, instead of worrying about if somebody going to tell you less than a man and sassy, because you're going to stand up and say, hey, man, I do X, Y, Z, and I would like to know that I'm appreciated and valued in the house that I labor for. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. And if they look at you sideways for saying that out your mouth, that says more about her or your offspring than it do about you. But when it comes to the ministry of the house of the living Elohim, you don't do this for no praise, blood. You don't do this for no appreciation. Your appreciation and praise will come from your maker. And if somebody do give you praise and appreciation, tell them to praise Yahuah and thank God. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's to be the problem is you don't look at this as this is a service job. Your job is to serve your Elohim and to reconcile his people back to him, to strengthen them, to comfort them, to care for them, to watch over them. Stop looking for a pat on the back and applause and all that extra stuff, man. Because what you going to do with it if you get it? You're a great preacher. What you going to do with that? What did that do for you? I ain't saying that to be funny. I'm saying that because that's just 100% what it is. What did that do for you? Paul said, I got to preach this thing, man. He said, necessity been laid upon me. Woe to me if I don't. I mean, I got a job to do. What did he tell Ezekiel? Man, tell them whether they hear or forbear. He said, don't worry about it. They're going to look at you with a hard heart and look at you crazy. He said, they ain't going to listen to you because they don't listen to me. Man, look at man, Elijah around here ready to die. He said, man, they killing all your prophets. They doing this here. Oh, they take me up out of here. I'm tired of dealing with them niggas, man. Man, y'all got Moses banned from the promised land, man. You know what I'm saying? Man got so frustrated, man, he struck the rock. He said, I would have talked to it, but you niggas pissed me off. That's why you got to do it for God. You can't do it for man. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people get in this business and they doing it for man. You can't get in this business and be looking for somebody to do this here, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll get away from the key component of what this is. The same way that some people say, your first ministry is your family. No, it's not. Your first ministry was to Yahuah. Before you ever had, even if you had a spouse when you came in the word, your first service is to him, not your wife. She comes second. Not your kids. They come second. Everybody comes second. Even you come second. That ain't your first service, man. See, that's what dudes tell you, your first ministry to your family. Not if you work for Yahuah, your first ministry is to everybody. It's to everybody. Because see, the reason why I say that, because once you get it in your mind, your first ministry is your family. You know what you end up doing? You think you can put your family before the body. Your family is a part of the body. So therefore, they're not your first ministry. Your first ministry is to everybody. If you in it, you know what I'm saying? If you in it, if that's your job, if that's what you do. But that ain't what everybody do. You know what I'm saying? Come on with it, bud. Where you at with it? 1 Chronicle 29 and what? Read verse 3 again. 2 Chronicle 29 and 3. My apologies. I don't want nobody changing the page.
I think 2 Corinthians 6 and 6.
Oh, 6 and 16. Come on.
It says, in what agreement have the temple of Elohim with idols? For you are the temple of the living Elohim, as Elohim have said, I will dwell in them and walk in them. I will be their Elohim, they shall be my people. Remember in Ezekiel, man, he told you that get rid of them idols in your heart. How you the temple of God and you got an agreement with a false idol in there, man? That idol ain't just Dagon, boy. That idol could be covetousness. Whatever you desiring, whatever you holding on to, man. How you the temple of God with Dagon in the middle, boy? But we finna get to what you got to do. Come on back to 2 Chronicles 29, man. Verse 3, run it. He, in the first year of his reign, in the first month, opened the doors of the house of Yahuah and repaired them. He brought in the priests, the Levites, and gathered them together into the east street, and said unto them, hear me, you Levites, sanctify now yourselves, sanctify the house of Yahuah, Elohim, your father. And carry what? Forth the filthiness out of the Kadash. So that's what, when you come with the word, that's what you bring in so the people can get the filthiness out the holy place, which is your lab. Carry that, give them filthiness by definition. Carry that up out of there. Nadah, impurity, filthiness. Get that impurity up out of there. What we just read, it ain't what defile him and go into a man that defile him, but what come out. And we read in the text, everything that's in here, this got to come out. It can't stay here. Because if this house defiled, we got to tear the whole thing down. Which is why he say, if you the temple Elohim, and he that defile the temple Elohim, God will destroy them. And they got people telling you defiling the temple because you smoked a cigarette. Because you obese. That ain't what that man talking about. And people who in the word who say that should know that, considering in Mark 7, this man said it ain't what go into you that defile you, and you run around telling first group, you know you can't defile your temple. Don't eat these certain type of foods, brother. You need to be vegan. You, my friend, are intellectually inferior and incompetent. Because that ain't what that man talking about.
You defile that temple by the things that you keep in your heart, man. All that covetousness, all them evil thoughts, all that lasciviousness, all that pride, all them evil eyes, that blasphemy, that rebellion. Hey, man, that man gonna destroy you, man. Because you ain't carried that filthiness up out his house. Why is you keeping that in there? I've always asked this question out loud, man, what's so important for you to keep that it'll separate you from God? Why you want to hold that so bad? What's so desirable and pleasurable about something that can separate you from Elohim for eternity that you say, I must have it? Is that important to you? It brings forth that much pleasure to you? It can't be that serious, blood. Can't be. But I guess for some people, Civic, it is. And see, the same that I'm saying, see, it's harsh. It's harsh because nobody lays these things at our feet so that we can weigh and consider. Because I can't tell you what to do, but we have to pause and consider and ask ourselves certain questions so that we can self-reflect and be self-aware and self-adjust. If the Malkuth or Shamahim, aka the kingdom of heaven, is the place that you say that you desire to be. Because everybody don't desire to be there. But if you desire to be there, where he told you got to enter in that, Civic? Straight gate. And he say straight is the gate and narrow is the way that lead to life, and it be few that find it. That means it's going to be few, a scant, a minuscule amount of individuals that are willing to do the things necessary to enter into the tightness of that way. Because I always tell you that, people like it loose. You know what I'm saying? Loose coochie, loose booties, loose clothing. That's what people like. And you know why they like it? Because it's room, because you want wiggle room. You want to be able, like I said, you want a room and you don't want it tight because it's constricted to you. And when it's constricted, it's uncomfortable. And that's what people don't like because this is not comfortable for me. See, when I said that first part, that's why a lot of dudes like loose women. See, I know people say stuff about, they got a strict program. I ain't good on it. Because one thing about it and two things for sure. Ain't no program of a woman's I'm ever going to get on in my life. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, a woman who has a strict way of living, a strict thought process, that's going to be constricted to a man who don't have one. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to make him uncomfortable. Because that means as a man, he's going to have to elevate himself to a particular position to be in this individual's life. Because I say that because if you're a woman with a disciplined regimen, a strict way of living your personal life, you're not going to lower that in order to be around a particular type of man. And as a man, you're not going to lower that in order to get a particular type of woman. Because she ain't going to want to fool with you because the strictness of the regimen of which you live, it makes her uncomfortable because they're going to have to elevate. They're going to have to shift their thought. And see, the problem is y'all want to make people elevate instead of accepting that nigga don't like it tight. He like it loose because looseness makes him comfortable because I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to be nothing. So does it matter? The Lord like it tight. You know what I'm saying? Because he need to see how much you love him. I've always told you, man, the hallmark of a person's character is made plain through the times of adversity and how they handle it and how they respond to it, even how they interact with others in the midst of said adversity. Like he told you, and like Peter told you, man, if you suffer and if you be buffeted and you've done nothing, that's acceptable under Elohim. He said, hey, when you come with diverse trials and joys, he said, don't be amazed. These same things happen to your brethren in the world. But the trying of your faith is more precious than gold. See, a lot of people don't want to be tested to see what manner of metal they are. Because you know you're going to show that, boy, you ain't no VVS diamond, boy. You's a moissanite, boy. You cubic zirconia. Boy, you lab grown, boy. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Boy, you ain't no sapphire, boy. You costume jewelry. You know what I'm saying? And people don't, I don't want that to be seen. I don't want that to be seen. I don't want that to be known. That you're fugazi, you're flawed, you're fake, you're phony. Come on, Sid. Back to 2 Chronicles 29:6.
Say, for our fathers have trespassed and done that which was evil in the eyes of Yahuah our Elohim, and have forsaken him, and have turned away their faces from the habitation of Yahuah.
What they did?
And turned their backs.
Damn.
They have shut up the doors of the court.
Put out the lamps.
And have not burned incense, nor offered burnt offerings in the Kadash.
Listen, we talk about the lamp, man. They cut the light, and we got to come back to that candlestick. That's why the Lord said you supposed to put your candlestick under a bushel. That candlestick supposed to be burning in the temple at all times. We're going to talk about that. Come on.
Wherefore the wrath of Yahuah was upon Yehudah and Jerusalem, and he have delivered them to trouble, to astonishment, and to hissing, as you see with your eyes.
For lo,
our fathers have fallen by the sword, our sons and our daughters and our wives are in captivity
now,
for this. It is in my heart to make a covenant with Yahuah Elohim.
That he what?
His fierce wrath may turn away from
And he said, and didn't it say, Paul wrote to you, Elohim have not appointed us unto wrath. Yahushua made a covenant that the fierce wrath of Elohim might be turned from us. Read it for him. Say the epistle to the Romans, chapter 5, man, verse 9, man.
Much more than being now justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him.
Go ahead.
For when we were enemies, we were reconciled to Elohim by the death of his son. Much more being reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. And not only so, but we also join Elohim through our Lord, Yahushua Mashiach.
That's right.
By whom we have now received the atonement.
To receive the what?
Receive the atonement.
The reconciliation. Come on back to 2 Chronicles 29, man. Verse 11, man.
My sons, be not now negligent, for Yahuah have chosen you to stand before him to serve him, that you should minister unto him and burn incense.
Go ahead.
Then the Levites arose, Mahath, the son of Amasai.
You can drop to verse 16. Or no, you can drop to verse 15. We ain't got to read all the names.
And they gathered their brethren and sanctified themselves
according
to the commandment of the king by the words of Yahuah.
To do what?
Cleanse the house of Yahuah.
Tell them what cleanse means, man.
That is tahar, to be clean, to be pure, to be clean physically of disease, to be clean ceremonially, to purify, to clean morally, to be made clean.
And that's the objective of what those who minister to the house are supposed to do, cleanse it. God cleanse it, because we impure. But see, we not impure as forth as the things of the flesh. We impure as forth as the things that's in that Kadah place in that layer. Because that's what he wants. He wants your heart. But see, the thing with your heart, you know what you got to do, Civic? You got to give it to him willingly. I mean, we can read that there, say the people sacrifice willingly. Yahushua sacrificed himself willingly. Paul say necessity is laid upon me, but if I do this thing willingly, I have a reward. See, this is why I tell you, man, I don't push and prod or compel nobody to do nothing. You show them what it say, and then they got to do that willingly. They got to do that willingly. See, we thinking you just going to keep on telling them, and because the reason why we be on that is because you see somebody doing something that they ought not, and it's really reflective in your own mind because you want to do it and it's bothering you. Because why they get to do it and I can't. I don't give a damn why he doing it. That ain't none of my business. You know what my business is? Yeah, you know what it is. New Jerusalem. That's my business. And if that person, if I done showed you what this text say, and you deemed yourself unworthy of New Jerusalem, that's a personal problem between you and God, man. That ain't got nothing to do with me. God done did my part. I'm not finna keep talking to you. That's why I always told you, I'm not finna tell nobody the same thing 2-3 times. Man, don't you know if somebody keep coming at you with the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, man, they trying to convince themselves. You know, people get mad at me when they be like, you ain't gonna tell them again? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. And you know why I'm not saying it? Because I done already told you. Remember what happened, man, with King Asa, man, when the prophet stepped to him and he said, who you is to talk to the king like this here? He said, oh, I see you who is determined to kill you. I'm going to holler at you. I'm going to holler at you. He said, and they went on their way. They came into a certain water. Yeah. Said, what stopped me? Shoot, you stopping yourself. Because I'm not going to keep talking to you, blood. People get mad at me all the time on this app and other places because they want me to argue with them. Hey, you got it, bro. Once I see you don't want to hear it, man, you got it. And I ain't saying that out of no contempt, no passive aggressiveness or nothing. Well, you got it. But I will tell you, I've told you before, I am going to qualify it. Don't speak to me. don't speak around about me, you know what I'm saying, to draw me back in the conversation, bro, that's over with. I'm done with it. Talk to somebody else, man. I'm not finna do this with you. And that'd be hard for people to deal because people be wanting to argue. Or some people want to be begged. Some people want to be chased. I'm not chasing you. I'm not begging you. If you deem yourself unworthy of eternal life, that's you. But I told you though. What more can you do after that? I don't know. Why do y'all think nagging people gonna get them to change their behavior? Why y'all think that's gonna happen? Why you think saying to something to the, where have you seen in life that repeatedly saying the same thing to somebody was gonna motivate them to do something if they didn't want to do it? Like for real, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, of course, y'all know the stereotype is that women nag and all that. That's why I say that's a stereotype. Is there some truth to it? It's truth to all stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? But dudes be doing it too. What makes you think asking a certain person, saying, hey, come on, bro, you can do this? Nah, man, clearly, if that's what you wanted to do, you would have done it. So clearly you don't want to do it. So I'm not talking to you anymore because that's not what you want to do. So I'm out. See, that bother people, see? Because then they think, you don't care about me. Yeah, I care about myself and my own sanity. You don't care about yourself. And the reality is that they give some people some weird validation in their brain when somebody keep asking them to do something that you know you don't want to do in the first place. Because remember what the Lord told you in Luke 14, man, you need to sit down and count the cost whether you got sufficient to pay. I can't tell you if you got enough to pay. You better count that cost, though. A lot of people got in this game and you ain't count the cost. You got in the game because your people was in it. You got in the game because people told you was the children of Israel. But you didn't sit down to count the cost if you had if you could pay the cost to be the boss. You didn't sit down and count it. It's the same way that this present time, they always running telling people to be an entrepreneur. But they didn't tell nobody you got the cost to pay that. You know what come along with that? Do you know 85% of y'all gonna fail? But ain't nobody told you that though. Everybody told you you're gonna be rich and successful. But that ain't the truth. The same way a dude I know, same way they tell everybody, flip you some houses, this, that, and the third. They don't tell you that most flippers fail. Because they don't tell you about the prices that they didn't tell you about no holding costs. They didn't tell you about no bad contractors. They didn't tell you about unforeseen expenses when you tore in the wall and the plumbing was bad. They didn't tell you about none of that. And you know what they played to? Your emotional desire to be validated with money, your greed, and you got. You know what I'm talking about? Because you thought it was going to be simple because you didn't count the cost. You didn't even find out what the cost was to even think if you had it to pay it. You just did it because this is what everybody else doing. This is what everybody say you're supposed to be doing. Generational wealth. You can't even spell it. Nah, for real, man. I ain't trying to be funny, man. That junk's serious, bro, because we don't weigh stuff out before we do it. You don't even take the time to figure out everything that's involved before you do it. And then you know what the crazy part is? You get in it, you ain't counted the cost, and you rushing to try to get somebody else to do it, and they can't count the cost because you ain't never counted it, so you can't tell them what cost to count. Because it's about the people, bro. We got to bring it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, there's a price to be paid, blood. Niggas say, man, you know what I'm saying? Can you buy that? A lot of people can't pay it. Remember, man, the price of a man's life, the ransom of a man's life is his riches, man. That's the code for it. That's the price of a life. You got to offer yourself as a living sacrifice, man. You got to count that cost. Can you pay that? Can you pay that price of a life, man? A lot of people can't pay that price, man. To come to serve Yahuah HaMashiach, man, through your Abba and Shamahim, boy, it's going to cost you something, blood. What you think costs, man, look at it right. We read it right. Temple tax, all the other stuff. Certain offerings that had to be made. It's a price for that house to be built. You turn around and you look at that from the standpoint of the gospel, man, there was a price for that tabernacle to be built that Yahuah said, if you destroy this temple, it'll be built in 3 days, and that price was his life. And now he say you the temple of Elohim, man, and the price for that house to be built is your life, man. And did you count the cost that you had enough shekels to pay that? Because you want to hold on to this and hold on to that. Because I told you, see, a lot of people who on here right now, Sunday through Thursday, you the real you. That 24-hour rest period, you want to come up and look to be godly. Man, you ain't fooling nobody, boy. You ain't fooling nobody. God can see you, nigga. You worry about me seeing you or them seeing you. Yahuah see you every day, man. And when I say he see you, I ain't talking about just seeing you moving out and about. He see your heart. So he already know what type of time you on. So he waits for the proper time for you to be placed in a position for your heart to be revealed unto all. And you would rather when that time come that it be revealed that you faithful and obedient and loving and revering to your Elohim than to be exposed that you was captive. But they don't like to talk about that. This is the way to consider, man. That's it, because that's all we can do. Is weigh and consider. Because everything in this house is precious. It's for his service. Read the verse again from me, 2 Timothy 2 and 19, excuse me, on general principle. Just read that for me.
Nevertheless, the foundation of Elohim stands sure, having the seal. The Lord know them that are his.
No.
And let everyone that in the name of Hamashiach
depart from what?
Iniquity.
What up?
But in a great house there are not only vessels of gold and of silver,
what else
but
in
also
that?
of wood and of earth, some to honor and
some to
dishonor.
And
for man therefore purge himself from these.
He make himself what?
A vessel unto honor,
meat,
sanctified and meat for the master's use.
And that's what we need to learn, man. Whatever you need to purge it so you can be set apart and meat for your master's use. I know people like to say God can use anybody. Man, don't you let nobody lie to you like that. Boy, if you ain't purged yourself and sanctified yourself, that man can't use you. You a vessel under dishonor. What an honorable man look like using a dishonorable vessel? But you know why we believe that? Because there's so many dishonorable people in the world that you think God will use you while you dishonorable, because you ain't got no problem with that, because you think honorable people should mess with dishonorable people. But people who are actually honorable are not going to fool with dishonorable people, man. It's offensive to them. And you supposed to know your law. If you walk contrary to him, he gonna walk contrary to you. So if you dishonorable, he ain't got no choice but to walk contrary to you, because he's honorable. And he's not going to dishonor himself in order to satisfy you. But that's what we believe God gonna do. That's what we believe God gonna do. That's why people hit you. Don't let nobody tell you God use anybody. He used a donkey. Oh, the donkey kicked you for being stupid. He opened that donkey's mouth to rebuke the prophet who was out of pocket, to let him know there's a Malachim standing right here finna kill you, boy. Not to go preach no word and do XYZ, man. And y'all let people tell y'all that goofy stuff and people repeat it. They repeat it. So guess what that tells people to do? Guess what that don't allow people to do? Get honorable. Purge themselves, sanctify themselves, so they think they can stay in a dishonorable state and God will still use them. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up being deceived in your own mind that God using you while you are a vessel unto dishonor and unclean and unsanctified. That's dangerous, man. And I'm only mentioning that because we know that leads to thought process. So your thought process says, I never have to sanctify myself. I never have to purge myself from the things that make me a vessel not meet for my master to use, because somebody told me it don't matter what you do, God use anybody. You see, you don't understand. We don't be sitting back, pausing, and understand how dangerous that is, bro.
That's how the man Elohim got by that false prophet. Hey, Elohim sent me to tell you
that's dangerous, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous, bro. That's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? It's not only just dangerous for you, it's dangerous for who you come across, because you're going to impart a bad mind. Because the Mashiach never told you, don't make yourself meat for the master's use. I'll use you anyway. Where you see him doing that at? You don't see him doing that nowhere. You don't see that happening in Genesis to Malachi. We're talking about actually doing the work of God, man. And that be the problem, is that a lot of us don't know how to make a distinction between the individual doing something and the individual doing the work of the ministry, man, actually in service to Yahuah. So we think everything that you see an individual doing was in service to Yahuah. Like straight up, you think a donkey was in service. Who did the donkey minister to? No one. What word did he bring? But the first, he used the donkey. Shut up. That don't irritate my soul, bro. He used the donkey. That same donkey, if he could be here right now, he would probably, Yahuah open his mouth and tell you are a dummy and kick you in your teeth. Come on back to 2 Chronicles 29, man. What verse you in, man? Oh, yeah, programming note, man. Doors open at 11:30 tomorrow. Y'all willing, man? We start sometime after noon. When I say afternoon, I mean after 12 p.m. Midday, if you would. Doors will be open at 11:30, man. Make haste. Y'all willing. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Come on with it, because that's what I want.
He's saying the priest went into the inner part of the house of Yahuah to cleanse it.
You do what?
To cleanse it, and brought out all the uncleanness that they found in the temple of Yahuah into the court of the house of Yahuah. And the Levites took it to carry it out abroad into the brook Kidron.
Took it outside the house, man, and drowned it. So all that filthiness that's inside your lair, man, you need to take that stuff outside and drown it. Or like what it said in Hebrews, man, lay aside the sin and the weight that easily besets you so you can run the race with patience. A lot of y'all carrying around dead weight, you never gonna cross the finish line. Because Ecclesiastes told you the race ain't given to the swift. Huh? What that's that for? Read that for him. So, Ecclesiastes 5, man. Let me get you right, man. Let me get you right, man. That verse that, man. I ain't gonna know what I did to my hand, man. God, I did that to you.
So 9 and 11.
Okay. Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. I wasn't nowhere near what I need to do.
Said, I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift,
Not to the swift,
nor the battle to the strong,
neither,
yet bread to the wise,
nor yet,
riches to men of understanding,
nor yet,
favor to men of skill.
But what happened?
Time and chance happens to them all.
For man also know,
not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil
as
net,
the birds that are caught,
and the snare,
so the sons of Adam,
snared in an evil time when it falls suddenly upon them.
But 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1, but take this though. You can run fast, that don't mean you went nowhere. But listen though, this is how you don't get snared in the evil time. Listen what the man take.
He said, but of the times and the season, brethren, you have no need that are right unto you. For yourselves know perfectly at the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night.
Thief in the night, baby.
For when they shall say shalom and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them.
Destruction.
As travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But you, brethren, are not in darkness.
You ain't in darkness.
That the day should overtake you as a thief. You are the children of light.
You the sons of God.
And the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness.
We ain't of sin. We ain't of ungodliness. We ain't of none of that.
Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith.
That's right.
And love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. For Elohim have not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord, Yahushua HaMashiach.
That's what we just read that again, didn't it? Come on, man. Read me verse 17. No, we ain't got to read that no more. So, well, you can read 17 because we need to get to verse 18. But you got to look like you got to get that stuff up out of there, man. See, that be the most difficult thing, man. Them secrets, that stuff inside your inner man, you don't want to take it up out of there. Because you want to hold on to it. And again, what you holding on to it for? Why is it that important to you? And you got to ask yourself, man, you being godly for the crowd or you being godly for Yahuah? Because when you be godly for the crowd, you ain't going to last too long. You ain't going to last too long. You ain't going to be able to finish the race, man. You're going to start the build and you're going to stop. Because you ain't have sufficient to pay. Man, it's a real deal endeavor, man. You really got to step to it and say, man, I'm in it for the long haul. It's just like when people invest in the stock market, man. And I'm not a stock market dude for one. So let me just say this here. That's just not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's anything inherently wrong with it, but that's neither here nor there. A lot of people don't like to fool with it. You know why? Because you want money instantly. But if you invest in the stock market for the most part, you got to be in that for the long haul. You know, many times you hear people say, man, I wish I would have invested in Google and such, or invested in Amazon and such, or invested in Nike and such. Because now 20, 30, 40 years later, that stock worth such and such, you'd have been super, super duper rich. You know what I'm saying? But people look at it for the short term. I think that was something like that Nike offered Magic Johnson. They ain't had no bread like that. They was like, we can offer you some stock and such, and he turned it down for the check right now. But that's a calculated risk because you don't know that this company is good. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to the word, man, you got to know, man, can you pay that? Because temptation is coming. Fiery trials is coming. Read it for him, say 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 13. It's coming, man. Because if it happened to Yahuah, you got to know it got to happen to you. Go ahead.
Wherefore, gird up the loins of your mind, be sober, and hope to the end of the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahushua HaMashiach, as obedient children, not fashioning yourself.
Back me up to 11. I ain't hear what I want to hear.
Searching what manner of time.
You remember 9, man.
Receiving the end of your faith, and the salvation of your souls.
Make it 7 then. I'll probably get us what we need to be.
That the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perish, though it be tried with fire, might be found in the praise and honor and the esteem at the appearing of Yahushua HaMashiach, whom having not seen you love, and whom though now you see him not, yet believing, you rejoice with joy.
He said that's right. He said, don't think this thing, some strange thing happening. Because, a lot of people stuff go to happening, and you think something odd and weird happening to you. Boy, somebody in another city, in another state, maybe in another part of the world, dealing with the same thing you dealing with. It's just part of the game. Now, I know some people will come to you in this game and be like, oh, if you got to come serve God, you got to be poor. I ain't never told you that. But some people will be. And some people won't be. And some people look at it as you want riches. And you feel like if you come to serve God, you got to be rich. Listen, man. That's not the reality for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, most niggas ain't gonna serve God once they get rich. Because you didn't really want God anyway, you wanted some money. You know what I'm saying? Just like everybody who poor ain't poor because God ain't want to have some money. You just didn't have the competency but sometimes, just like we just read, some stuff just be time and chance. Some stuff just don't follow you. It's a multitude of factors. You know what I'm saying? But I'll just tell you like what it say in Proverbs 30. Just ask the man for food convenient for you. Because you can't take none of this stuff to you with the grave the way you going anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because of our supreme fixation on things of this nature. Above the riches that be in heaven. And some people don't want to hear that because they say that's that Christian stuff. That's the pie in the sky. I want mine now. And you can get yours now, but you won't get God later. And that's how that goes. And see, when I say get God later, I ain't talking about, you're going to float up to heaven. Meaning the riches and wealth of his kingdom and the things that come along with that, you're going to lose that. Just like I seen some people arguing about, I think they say Killer Mike got a rent to own thing he got going on in Atlanta. I didn't look into it yet to know the details. And let me put it here right. People were talking about that most of those rent-to-own programs are scams. And that a very, 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 very high percentage of the people who participate in it usually don't end up purchasing the home. I think they gave an instance of a woman who missed one payment and they locked her out of the portal and evicted her. And usually the amount of money that goes, towards, the down payment, it's non-refundable, so you don't get it back. But they was talking about this here, right? And they were just referring to this here, like when I had commented on that particular post on Instagram saying, poverty is the reason for most of the crime and violence. And when people hear that, oh, that's an excuse. And you know why people tell you that? Because you actually genuinely are convinced that capitalism is an opportunity for everybody to be successful if they just work hard. And God bless your heart that you don't know no better. Because you don't understand that capitalism in and of itself is a system. And in that system, there are systematic things set in place in order to keep people under subjugation under a few. And a part of the execution of capitalism is to keep the mass majority of the people in poverty by putting in systematic programs, systems, organizations, or things of this sort to where the mass majority of the population will never, ever, ever elevate themselves to be anywhere near that 0.1%. You know what I'm saying? So when people don't understand that, the things that motivate the crime is a systemic implementation of poverty through the economic system of capitalism. Again, it's not that capitalism in and of itself is evil, because a system cannot be good nor evil, because it's simply a system. The system is evil once you start implementing men in its implementation, because it's the men that steer and move the system to facilitate, to benefit them. See, and we don't want to hear that, because you want to genuinely believe if I just work hard, I can get X, Y, Z. God bless your heart. You don't know no better. What do we mean by this here? These people come up with these rent-to-own programs, and guess who they market those rent-to-own programs to? You. And you know why they marketed them to you? Because they know that you don't have the resources to buy a home in general, and that you know that you're renting anyway. And we know that that because these things are financed, that when the market fluctuates and things of this nature, along with property taxes and things of this nature, that can change the cost of your rent. So your rent go up every year, just like everybody else rent go up. And then if your rent go up and you can't afford this home no more, I can kick you out. Now you still in the same position you were in, if not worse. I can repossess this home and get another nigga and do it again. They don't market these type of homes to people who are not in a particular economic situation. It's the same reason why you don't see renter centers and things of this nature in affluent neighborhoods, because they know that you don't have the means to purchase these things outright, and you want them, and they give you an insanely high APR because they know that you'll never be able to pay these things off, and you're going to pay 3 to 4 times as what it's worth. Even buying a home, we talk about that. If you look at it, you're going to pay twice as much as what the house was worth when you get done with it, because that's all the purposes of capitalism. Even when we talk about insurance, man, that junk a scam, boy. Well, that wasn't on here you were talking about. That junk a scam. What I mean by a scam is it's not a scam in the sense that they're deceiving you. It's a scam in the sense of you're paying money for something that might happen. And they don't even give you rebates at the end of the year if these things don't happen. You don't have to refund me the totality of the premium, but you could definitely shoot me something back in return since something didn't happen. And then when something does happen, guess what they like to do, Civic? Not pay you. And then when certain things happen, they raise the price. They raise the price with no justification in raising it. And this be the ugly part. You got to get it. You can't drive a car without car insurance. You can, but your license is going to get suspended, at least in the state of Florida. You can't buy a house without homeowners insurance. You have some landlords and leasing companies. You can't rent a home without renters insurance. Now, I'm mentioning all these things because these are the things a part of the systemic implementation of poverty that permeates throughout this particular society. Because you know something that most people can't afford, Civic? Insurance, health insurance for that matter. So guess what they did? We'll subsidize it by the government, but if you don't get it, guess what you got to do, Civic? Pay a tax penalty. Pay a tax penalty. You're going to penalize me because I can't afford to buy your insurance now. Ain't it about it? This is how ugly the racket gets. You would think vision and dental should be with your health insurance, but guess what they do? You got to buy them separate. Not only the fact that your wages do not increase with the cost of living. You know what I'm saying? And you think to yourself that you don't think that these niggas killing and robbing and stealing because you know the one thing that will destroy a man once he loses it? What's the one thing you think it could destroy a man once he loses it? What y'all think is the one thing that can send a man in a spiral of criminality and the wildest behavior imaginable? It's one thing that once a man loses that, is over with. What y'all think that is? Money? No, it ain't money. It ain't money. It ain't money.
Integrity?
It ain't integrity either. It ain't integrity either. Because you could lose money and get that back. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a job either, because you can lose a job and get that back. You say pride, it ain't pride either. That's it right there, Jessica. Hope. Once a man become hopeless, it's over. Once he get it in his mind, I ain't got no expectation of anything. He don't care. He don't care about you. He don't care about himself. He don't care about his outcomes. He don't care about nothing. And either that can turn him into a savage beast on these streets, man, or it can turn him into a drug addict, or he gonna put a bullet in his brain. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the part of capitalism that they never want you to lose, which is hope in the system. You understand? See, as long as you got hope in the system, you'll continue to plug away, feeding said system that is participating in your systematic destruction and oppression financially. You understand? But once you lose hope, guess what you do? You check out. You check out. You know what I'm saying? And if too many people check out, guess what'll happen? It'll crumble. So they have to do certain things to keep you attached to it. This is why he say, like we can read in 1 Thessalonians, right? He say we are not as others who have no hope. Read that for him, say, man. 1 Thessalonians 4:13, man. Remember, we have a tikvah, we have a batak, we have a hope, an expectation of receiving something. See, in this particular society, you have an expectation that if you get up and go to work, or you go to school and you learn this and you learn that you can get into a particular tax bracket to live a particular type of life. That's the hope that they feed you. And you know what they call that hope? The American dream. You understand? This is all psychological marketing on your mind, man. See, the same way they tell you that if you have a hope, an expectation, award from the kingdom of Shamahim, that's a pie in the sky. Nigga, what you think the American dream is, nigga? That's a pie in the sky, man. That's a pie in the sky, man. Because that quote unquote dream is only for a select few people. And then most of them don't look like you and me. I ain't saying that some of our people have not achieved it, nor am I saying those that achieved it through nefarious or despicable means. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to put some people work hard, man. But some things like this book tell you is time and chance. Some things be the will of God, whether for your good or whether for your destruction. But in general, that dream didn't include you and me. When I say you and me, I mean people who look like us. Hell, it didn't even contain the people who don't look like us. Because we need you to be cogs in the machine, man. I forgot what it was. I just seen Jeff Bezos had the nerve to get on TV and say that the government should pay XYZ. Cracker, you pay it. You don't even pay the people who work for you. How you gonna be talking about we can pay such and such? You don't even pay the people who work for you, Cracker. Come on, man. Man, this man make enough money that in general, man, most of the people that work at Amazon could make $25, $30 an hour. It wouldn't hurt them in the least bit. They may not work as many hours, but it would, you know what I'm saying? You can pay them people, man. You still around here trying to pay a nigga at minimum wage or a tad bit above. So and then you only want them to work 30 hours a week, so you ain't got to give them no benefits, Cracker. Get the hell out of here, man. And you don't understand how systemic that is, man. And you know Walmart do that, and all these companies do that, so they don't want to have to pay you, so you can gotta work somewhere else, so that you never elevate out of the systemic system that they set for you to always be poor. That's how they kick the game, man. And it is what it is. And I told y'all during the pandemic, then they came out in the pandemic, and then they scammed you and hustled you niggas again. Let me sell you a course on how you can tax prepare. Box trucking. You know what I'm talking about? CDL trucking, real estate investing, wholesaling. None of these people would get, they were scamming you, man. Selling you on the American dream of hope that you could elevate yourself to a particular point, and they were grifting to get you out your money, and you still gonna be in the same position you in, working in the same job, having the same problems, man. And you don't see that that is systemic. That's systemic, man. That's by design, my nigga. You say everybody working at Amazon now, even me. It's a lot of people's second job. You know what I'm talking about? And he ain't paying you either. This man's stock price has him worth trillions of dollars, man, and he can't even pay his employees a living wage, man. This man making enough money, man, through this company, man, that everybody who work for him should only have to work there. Now, of course, I don't know the financials on this company, but I bet most of the people who do the grunt work that he could probably give them all a $10 to $15 an hour raise, man, and they ain't gonna be hurting. I can't even say this man getting his money hand over fist, because that ain't even an accurate description. Listen, man, when I told y'all I heard that years back, how Walmart was telling people, oh, nah, man, we can't give you no more hours. Go get food stamps. Go get food stamps? Come on, man. I'm sorry, y'all. That just agitates my spirit. But come on. Where you at with it?
1 Thessalonians 4:13.
Go ahead. He said, I have my real estate license. I'm about to start waitressing tomorrow. Yeah, you already know that. You know, that real estate license, that's tough. Because you might have to do that.
He said, but I would not have you ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
Others that you sorrow not, that others see. And that's why I meant once a man lose hope, he in a perpetual state of sorrow. I've looked in the eyes of some men who lost hope, man. They were cold, man. When you lose hope, you ain't got nothing to live for. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all may or may not. That's why you need to start running. Some of y'all may have never seen a man who lost hope, man. It's a sad thing to see, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Once a man lose that, it's over with. If that don't get restored, why you think a lot of people walk away from the word when they walk away? Because they done lost hope. They gone. Because hope means I'm expecting something. I'm expecting to get something back. And if you lost the expectation of getting something back, you're not motivated to continue in the labor. Stop. Hey, stop, son. Son, stop. Go ahead, bro.
Therefore, if we believe that Yahuah died and rose again.
Oh, no, that's good. Read that verse again.
But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope.
Even as, listen, a lot of people who ain't in the word, they ain't got no hope or the expectation of what you got hope to receive. Read Romans 8 and 23, 22, man, on general principle. I'm going to get to this anointing oil eventually.
For we know that the whole creation groaned and travail in pain together until now. Not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Ruach, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope.
Hope that is what?
Hope that is seen
is not hope.
For what a man sees,
why
do he yet hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it.
And if you ain't got no hope, you ain't gonna wait for it. And if you ain't gonna wait for it, you ain't gonna continue in the labor. And that's why a lot of people don't continue in the labor of the word, because they ain't got no hope or expectation that he actually gonna do something, because you don't believe it. And that's the same thing that happens what I was given on the natural side of things when it comes to this particular system that we live in. If you don't believe that that you're going to receive anything for the work that you put in, why would you continue to participate in that system? You know what I'm saying? Look around you, man. You can see it in a lot of people's souls, man. A lot of people ready to give up and quit. Because they feel like I've been doing this for 10 years, 15 years. You told me if I did this, if I went to school and did this and did that, that it would lead to this, and it led to nothing. That's all by design, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Some people are in the position they're in not through lack of effort, not through incompetency, but we just happen to, some things be time and chance, and we just happen to live in a system that is not beneficial to the entirety of the population, irregardless of race, if you would. Irregardless. And you can see that now. Because they're not telling you, they're not saying it openly, but this is probably one of the most toughest economies that anybody has ever witnessed in their physical existence. Most of us don't remember. I was in prison in 2008, so I wasn't a part of that. So most of y'all were too young to remember what was going on in 2008. The things of Reaganomics in the mid to late 80s, I was a child, so I didn't know nothing about, was experiencing it. The things that happened during the Arab oil embargo during the Carter administration, most of us weren't alive to understand how financially depressing that time period was. And obviously, none of us were alive to experience the Great Depression. And the Great Depression lasts for almost 20 years. You know what I'm saying? That just ain't something that happened in 1929 and ended in 1929. That lasted for the majority of the entirety of the Roosevelt administration. And the only thing that distracted the American population from it was World War II, man. Now, most of you know, as you can lease in Jacksonville, Florida, when you step outside, man, gas $4.50 a gallon, man. The junk was just about $4.89. And you just think that they started a war over there. You mad with Trump, man? Look here, man. Start that war, man, so we could get this bread. And you know why? Because the people still got hope in the system, so they're going to continue to participate. They're going to continue to participate. So it doesn't matter, because they know they can do what they want, how they want, whenever they want, to whoever they want, and the people going to happily participate. Listen, right? Now I know Spirit Airlines, they say they were doing bad for a long time before they shut down. Now you don't have that doggone go-to, you know what I'm saying, cheaper airline to go through. Now you got to pay. And ain't it amazing that now that they shut down in these difficult, then they also could, if we just keep it on the up and up and say there's nothing nefarious going on. If the price of gas high for you to drive your car, imagine what it is to buy jet fuel and you don't charge the premium prices that the other airlines charge. How long you think you're going to stay in business? Because like I said, everybody look at you and think if you run a business, you're going to be successful. Like we talked about this before, 85% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. The reality is that most businesses fail. And you've seen businesses who've been around for a long time and they ain't here no more. How many JCPenney's you see now? How many Sears do you see now? You don't see no Woolworths no more. Ain't no more Blockbusters. I'm trying to think of some other people that ain't here no more. More so, ain't no more Circuit City. Ain't no more Radio Shack. Ain't no more Toys R Us. Them niggas gone. Spirit gone. Listen, man, during about 1987, man, with the doggone savings and loan scandal, man, this whole banks went out of business, blood. But some of y'all don't know about that happened in 1987. Whole banks went out of business, man. People lost everything. They lost everything, man. Businesses close up every day. People go out of business every day. Go ahead, man. Come on, they're back to Exodus 30 and 17. The retail concept definitely has a bar. I just mentioned some, but shoot. It's car companies that done went out of business. All type of things that went out of business. I only mentioning that because you get sold a bill of goods, especially from people on the internet, that if you open a business, you just guaranteed to be rich and ain't nothing. Hey man, most people businesses go away. They go away. Sometimes it comes from bad service and bad products, and sometimes it just goes from environmental situations and circumstances, and we wave bye-bye to you. But I just say that because that's a reality that people don't discuss. Because if you feel like somebody tell you that, you feel like they hating on you. But the realization is that you got to go into anything with the expectation that it could fail. And how are you going to respond, react, and pivot if it does? Because it could happen. You just can't be walking around here like a kid with his head up his butt, and you know what I'm saying? No, that'll never happen. Then when they do, boom, bullet in the brain. Boom, crack on your pipe. Cocaine in your nose. Prostitution. Now you're selling coochie. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, man.
Saying you will speak on Moses saying, you shall also make a laver of brass, and its foot also of brass, to wash withal. You shall put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar. You shall put water therein. For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat.
Mm-hmm.
When they go into the tabernacle of the congregation, they shall wash with water, that they die not.
Right.
And when they come near to the altar to minister, to burn offering by fire unto Yahuah. So they shall wash their hands
that's
and
why
their
I'm
feet,
going to learn how to waitress.
that they die not, and it shall be a statute forever to them, to him and his seed throughout their generations.
Moreover,
Yahuah spake unto Moses, saying, take you also unto you principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels.
Sweet cinnamon.
Half so much, even 250 shekels.
A sweet what?
Calamus, 250 shekels. And of cassia, 500 shekels. After the shekel of the sanctuary.
You know, the people try to tell you calamus is cannabis. I don't know how they make that connection. Nevertheless, go ahead.
Saying of oil olive a hin. You shall make it a kadash. You shall make it an oil of kadash ointment, an ointment compound after the art of the apothecary. It shall be a kadash anointing oil.
Pause. Now, bro had asked me this before we jumped on here, right? And he didn't even know we were finna deal with that this evening. Go to Matthew 26 and 15. It's not 26 and 15, it's 26 and 6. I do that every single solitary time. Matthew 26 and 6. Book of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 6.
Now, when Yahushua was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box,
Alabaster.
a very precious ointment, and poured it on his head and sat at meat. But when his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is this waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor.
When Yahushua understood,
He said unto them,
why trouble you?
the woman,
She of what?
wrought a good work upon you.
For you have,
The poor always with you,
but me,
you have not always.
for that she have poured,
This ointment on my body,
she did it,
for my burial.
truly,
I say unto you,
wheresoever,
this gospel shall be preached in the whole world.
there shall also.
That this woman have done be told for memorial of her.
Now, we also see that her pouring that ointment on him is also representative of what, Civic? Anointing him for the priest's office. Because everybody wants things to be done explicitly. He didn't get anointed as it says in the law. You can't tell Yahuah how he going to execute the fulfilling of his word. Because that's what a lot of people do. He should do it like this. I'm not going to tell this man how to run his company. This is his company. He can run it how he wants. You know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, read verse 26. Exodus.
You shall anoint the tabernacle of the congregation therewith, and the ark of the testimony.
Listen, and Yahushua say, my body is this temple, right? He anointed the tabernacle of the congregation. Yahushua is the ark of the testimony because the testimony is contained in him that's been anointed. But what else he going to do? And the what?
Table in all his vessels.
And the what?
Candlestick in all his vessels.
And the what?
Altar of incense.
And the what?
Altar of burnt offering with all his vessels.
And the what?
Laver in his foot.
And you shall what?
Sanctify them, that they may be most kadash. Whatsoever touch them shall be kadash.
And guess what that man says? Sanctify them true thy truth. Thy word is true. And you know, and how did he anoint those vessels? When he resurrected from the dead, what he did, said, we breathe that Ruach HaKadosh on them. After he was anointed, what did he do? Take, eat. This is my body. Take, drink. This is my blood. Guess what? They've been sanctified, and whatsoever touch them, they're going to be what, Civic? The most Kadosh. That's what it said, ain't it? Now you see how the book get fulfilled. Listen to the next thing he said, you shall anoint who?
Aaron and his sons, and consecrate them.
That they may what?
Minister unto me in the priest's office.
And you shall speak. And that's another reason why he got be anointed. Now we could look at the other spots that talk about, doing that for his burial. You can read John 19 and 37. Boopster, 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 boopster. Go ahead.
And again, another scripture saith, they shall look on him whom they had pierced. After this, Joseph of Arimathea, being a disciple of Yahuah, but secretly for fear of the Yahudim, besought Pilate, that he might take away the body of Yahuah, and Pilate gave him leave. He came therefore and took the body of Yahuah. There came also Nicodemus, which at the first came to Yahuah by night, and brought a mixture of myrrh and aloes.
Oh, brought a who?
A mixture of myrrh and aloes.
What they brought it for?
Then took they the body of Yahuah and wound it in linen clothes,
linen
spices, as the manner of the Yahudim is to bury.
Hold on. Oh, go ahead.
Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden, and the garden.
Now that's good, right? Now go to Proverbs 7, right? Seven and 11.
She is loud and stubborn; her feet abide not in her house. Now is she without, now in the streets, and lying wait at every corner. So she called him and kissed him, and with an impudent face said unto him, I have peace offerings with me, this day have I paid my vows. Therefore came I forth to meet you diligently to seek your face, and I found you. I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry.
And what else?
With carved works, with fine linen of Egypt.
What else?
I have perfumed my bed with myrrh.
You perfumed your bed with what?
Myrrh.
And what else?
Aloes.
What kind of
cinnamon.
And cinnamon? What kind of spices they say that buddy brought, man?
Mixture of myrrh and aloes.
For his burial. Ain't that right? That would have said in 2 Chronicles 16 and 10.
Then Asa was wroth with the seer and put him in
back
house.
it up to about 8. That's the story I just told you about. When they say, you know what? I see Yahuah finna kill you. I'm finna dip.
Were not the Ethiopians and Lubims a huge host with very many chariots and horsemen? Yet you did rely on Yahuah. He delivered them into your hand. For the eyes of Yahuah run to and fro throughout the whole earth.
To show himself strong.
On the behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him.
Therefore you've done what?
Foolish.
What you gonna have?
Therefore from henceforth you shall have war.
See, a lot of people, what Paul said, you got war in your members, right? See, when you sit back and you want to rely on man versus rely on Yahuah, then he ain't gonna show himself strong on your behalf because your heart ain't perfect to him, and you're gonna have war in your members, boy. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to battle with them desires you got in there, man, that pulling you away from God, man, because you done foolishly. But that's what a lot of people don't rely on. You don't rely on God. Now, I know it's easy to, you want to rely on man. You know what I'm saying? It's for friends, family, and that's cool. But, blessed is the man who trusted for you, whose hope Yahuah is. See, relying on, now when you say that, what I mean by that is, that doesn't mean that you don't get comfort and strength and camaraderie from your friends and family and other brothers and sisters in the word. That's not what that means. You understand? This is that Asa, instead of seeking to rely on Yahuah, sought after everybody else. You know what I'm saying? See, sometimes you sit back and hear, I'm going to run to this person, but you ain't went to God yet. You supposed to go. Remember, man, Yahushua went to his father first, man. He still brought his disciples with him, 3 of them to be exact. But he went to his God first, man. And that's what I mean by that. Because obviously, if we're talking about bearing each other's burdens, you got to be able to rely on each other to a certain extent. Give him the definition of rely in that Hebrew right there, man. What verse that is, man? Verse 8. See what it means. We'll see what word is that.
It is sha'am, to lean on, trusting, to support. You got to trust in Elohim, figuratively.
See, you're supposed to lean on and be supported by Yahuah. You're supposed to trust in Yahuah. And since I said it, Jeremiah 17:7. And he didn't do that. Asa was relying, I think, on the Syrians in this instance. Go ahead.
Baruch is the man that trusts in Yahuah, whose hope Yahuah is. For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, that spread out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat come, but her leaf shall be green.
That's right.
And shall not be careful in the year of drought.
And he shall what?
Neither shall cease from yielding fruit.
Y'all know what all that means, man. Read verse 9 to 2 Chronicles 16 again on general principle. I actually needed you to read verse 7. Read verse 7, then you can go to 9, because that's what I missed.
And at the time Hananiah the seer came to Asa, king of Yehuda, and said unto him, because you have relied on the king of Syria, and not relied on Yahuah your Elohim, therefore is the host of the king of Syria escaped out of you.
Go ahead.
So for the eyes of Yahuah run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them who are perfect toward him. Herein you have done foolishly, therefore from henceforth you shall have wars. Asa was wroth with the seer and put him in a prison house.
No, this wasn't the right one, but you keep on going. This fourth is that one. This is 2 Chronicles 25. Go ahead.
So for he was in a rage with him because of this thing, and also oppressed some of the people at the same time. Behold, the acts of Asa, first and last, though they are written in the book of the kings of Yehuda and Yasharal.
Listen.
And Asa in the 39th year of his reign was diseased in his feet, till his disease was exceeding great. Yet in his disease he sought not Yahuah, but to the physicians.
Right.
And Asa slept with his
Listen,
fathers.
every time he was faced with a situation, he never sought after God first. It doesn't mean that you can't seek after physicians, because again, that's not what he's saying. He say, yet in his disease he sought not to Yahuah. Because see, you have to balance that, because some people be like, I ain't gonna go see the doctor, I'm gonna seek Yahuah. He's not castigating him for going to the physicians. The same way that people read that about Onan and think Onan was killed for spilling his seed. He wasn't killed for spilling his seed. He was killed for not raising up a seed to his brother, because he knew the seed wouldn't be his, and he laid with that woman anyway and spilled the seed. But then, like I said, man, last week is the first time that I really realized that the mass majority of people can't read and or comprehend. So I can't even be, why am I even getting upset about it? These niggas are genuinely stupid. Then I have to sit, and I'm not saying that to be funny, man. Listen, man, I don't know how y'all took that information, but an individual such as myself, man, based on the places that I done been and the things that I done seen and the individuals that I have had the opportunity to be in company with, to see that 85% of the United States population has the reading abilities of a 13-year-old or lower, that means fundamentally, man, that the mass majority of people cannot comprehend what they read. And it made me start cycling through the multitude of conversations that I've had with people over a multitude of topics over the course of 30 some odd years, even as an adolescent, to a teen, to a young man, to a grown man, to now a growing older man. And genuinely, bro, people can't comprehend what they read, bro, because they can't read. Because that means if I have the ability to comprehend and read at an adult level, and the individual overwhelmingly who I'm communicating with can only read at the level of a preteen or a young teen, but we in trouble, boy. We in trouble. Listen, man. Being dead serious, I ain't being funny, man. Nothing spiritual about it. I never read that story in Genesis with Onan and thought he was killed for spilling his seed on the ground, bro. To tell other people, man, you know, if you pull out and you ejaculate, boy, that's a sin, bro. I know how to read, bro. How many of y'all have talked to people who told you that that's what that meant, and that's clearly not what it says? If that's clearly not what it says, it literally, in the most plainest of speech possible, tells you why this man was killed, bro. Does it not say?
Yeah.
But if you have the reading comprehension of an 8-year-old, of a 10-year-old, because I don't want you to be focused on the grade, I want you to be focused on the age. Because when you're in the 8th grade, you are 13 years old. You're 13 years old. So they're telling you that 6/7 or 7/8 of the United States population reads at the comparable level of a 13-year-old or lower. Man. And then you spend, at least it's here, and you spend, Brandon said, I've been reading at a college level since the 5th grade. And that should be the norm. In my opinion, at least 2 to 3 grade levels above where you at.
I was at high school level in 5th grade.
Yeah, like, come on, man. I never even got tested to know what level I at, but I know I wasn't reading at no 5th grade level in the 5th grade with the books I was reading. Bro, I used to literally just take the dictionary with me to read it while using the bathroom. You said I always read at a higher level. Won awards for reading books, was in the book club, spelling bee. Man, I don't think they do none of that no more. Do they even have book clubs, man? Do you remember when they had the little program, man, where they give you the stickers for reading books so you could get free pan pizzas from Pizza Hut, man? Man, I read a whole lot of books for them pizzas, man. You understand me? Sis says she got an IQ of 168. She is a functional genius. You understand me? That's in the top 1%, without question. You know what I'm talking about? Man, listen, man. That boy said he was reading The Prince by Machiavelli in the 5th grade. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't hear that book till I was a grown man. You know what I'm saying?
And was way ahead of his time.
Oh yeah, he definitely. You reading books about political machinations at that point. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I did read Mac Prince in prison though. I cracked it a while. I think that book in the room somewhere too. But yeah, man, it made me think about how sometimes you would get frustrated with talking to people about the word, man, and then it come to realize the whole time. Say, Pop put you on too. Oh, that's right. When he put you on, see, I was about 16. I knew who he was then, but I didn't come across the book till I was an adult. He said, I definitely read a lot of books for them pizza parties and skipped a few chapters too. That boy, that wow. You know what I'm saying? But nah, it made me think like, bro, people, because you done heard me talk about it, so like, man, I would genuinely be frustrated. Like, how was you getting that this man was killed for spilling his seed and it don't say that? I can see if you insinuate it literally says because he refused to raise a seed up to his brother. Now I understand why. Yeah. You say you was in middle school reading Harry Potter cover to cover, reading What's Your Escape from Reality. I can't speak to Harry Potter because I ain't never, you couldn't pay me to read or watch Harry Potter. But I was a grown man by that time too, so.
Niggas really just can't comprehend it.
Yeah, and of course I told y'all, man, what made me think about this was that Chance boy getting sentenced, and they mentioned his psychological report and said that this man read at a 5th grade level. But then what was even disturbing, I ain't even digged into that, he did math at a 3rd grade level, bro. 3rd grade, bro? Bro, you doing basic multiplication and division in the 3rd grade, man.
That was effectively a child still.
That man was a child, bro. Mika said her favorite book was Marie Antoinette, Queen of Versailles. I used to be sitting around reading Homer's Iliad, bro. Like I told you, man, I ain't even read fiction books, man. I read no damn fiction book, man. I got TV to be entertained. I don't want to escape in a fantasy world because I had just put it in my mind that reading is for education. That's it. That's what reading is for. It's for instruction. I don't want to be read. I don't want to hear a novel. Don't read me no novel. Don't talk to me about no novel. Like I say, man, prison was the only place where in the county jail I would read novels because that's the only thing that I had access to on a consistent basis. Because when my dog got them David Icke books in there, man, and he put me on them big days, man, let me get all those, bro. And then even that I was ingrained so in-depthly about what the man was talking about. I just didn't want to read novels, bro. I just didn't want to read them. I do not read to be entertained. I read to be informed. And if I can't be informed, what the hell am I reading it for? You know what I'm saying? Like when a dude who I know got a life sentence, we in there, man, tomorrow, you want to come to jail and read the newspaper. I read this before I got here, cuz. I read the newspaper every day. I bought it, nigga. But he can't frame that in his brain that, oh, people read because they want to? Or you only reading because you're in jail. And at the time, it was just more so like, man, nigga Truman sit back and realize, shoot, he probably can't read. Listen, man, sitting back looking at this stuff, man, I now realize that a lot of people who don't like to read or don't want to read probably can't. That never clicked in my brain at any time. I just thought, you weird, you don't want to read. What's wrong with you? Now I understand it's because you're not good at it. Listen, right? Because, they had the ceremony, for Muffin going to the 6th grade, they did all this stuff. And, in my brain, because I wouldn't, poo-poo on it, but I don't even see the point of having graduation ceremonies at all if you ain't actually finished. Me, myself, personally, this is my personal perspective. I think it leads to a bad mindset to put into children, to always feel the need to be celebrated for every minute thing that you've done. You haven't accomplished anything. You haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. You know what I'm saying? Whoop-de-doo. You went from the 5th grade to the 6th. You know what happened when we went from the 5th grade to the 6th? Nothing. School ended and we went home and played for the summer and you went to another school. Me knowing myself and how I thought at them times, man, if they had that, I probably wouldn't even want to participate. I probably would have asked my mama, can I stay home? I don't want to do this. Because I didn't even want to walk at my own graduation. You know what I'm saying? From high school, I don't want to do this. I don't want to spend the money for this. I don't want to go. I don't want to do any of it. Give me my diploma and let me go. You know what I'm saying? And if I would have finished college, I probably did the same thing. Yeah, I'm good. I don't want to participate in this at all. Now, how my mind works, me knowing that graduations are a Masonic ritual, this is the root of them, where they come from. Do your own research on this here, especially when you see the square hat that they put on you. And of course, the turning of the tassel from, do the knowledge. That's all I can tell you, man. Just do the knowledge on it. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm seeing that, okay, they do this for 4-year-olds, for 10-year-olds, possibly for 13-year-olds going from middle school to high school. Of course, you do it when you graduate from high school. You do it when you graduate from college. I know that they do these things for the harvesting of energy. Because again, I've told y'all this before. It doesn't matter if you don't believe that these people worship the gods of antiquity. They do. And they like to implement the rituals to those gods in this society. So it makes me ponder, because out of nowhere, they have all these ceremonies at every grade level when they didn't have them before. Why? What's the rhyme? What's causing all this? I don't have an answer to that. I don't have an answer for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just my mind and how it works. Say, got 3 books I started and still haven't finished all of them yet because of timing. For sure. Shoot, I know how that goes. But that's just my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts. Say, I didn't attend my college graduation. When I finished my current degree, I wanted to attend. Now, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm speaking for me because I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to go to my prom. I didn't want to go to any of these things. Yeah, and Emma say a lot of these graduations are held at Masonic lodges, and some of them are. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is how my mind works, because I know that these are nods to the gods of antiquity. You know what I'm saying? So it's not to say like, oh, why are you doing this for your children? Because you're going to do something positive happening for your children. You want to participate. You know what I'm saying? You want to be there. You want to, hey, I acknowledge you. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at the fundamental aspect of how they do the youth, because it seems that every mundane thing that they do must be celebrated. And I know what that does to the mind of an impressionable mind, because then you grow up and you feel like that you should be celebrated for doing basic things. And you know what happens when you get older? No one celebrates you for doing what you're supposed to do, because you actually haven't finished anything. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking at it from a social engineering aspect, not actually, I'm not going to send my children to go do this. No, don't be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But you have to look at everything that goes on in the society you live in and just ask yourself, why are they doing it? Because they didn't do it before. So why are they doing it now? You know what I'm saying? To grasp what's going on, because you just think it's for nothing. Nothing that happens in this particular society is for nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't do nothing over here. Because we were just talking about this, because I was watching a documentary last night about all these scientists and people who were whistleblowing about UFOs coming up dead in the last 3 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And one of them people in there said they actually feared Lockheed Martin and Boeing more than they did the United States government. But I'll talk to y'all about that later off camera, because that's not, you know what I'm saying? But not because I'm scared about what they're going to do, because that's not what we're here for. But I'm mentioning that because the things that these people were talking about and the things that they seen, they're not for nothing. But when I mentioned that, I mentioned it because you can find United States government documentation for this and unsealed classified documents that they believe Yahuah coming back, and they're putting together weaponry and aircraft to fight him. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe it, they do. You understand what I'm telling you? I'm mentioning this here because some of y'all remember a few years back when they said they saw, UFOs over New Jersey. And the man who actually blew up that cyber truck in Vegas, remember, on New Year's, this man was in the military. And this man reported on what that was. And he said that those were not UFOs, but those were anti-gravity aircrafts shot from a Chinese submarine. And that these people did not want you to know that the United States and the Chinese military actually possess anti-gravity aircraft. Now, I've told you this before from my own research, before I even knew this, that UFOs did not start appearing till after World War II was finished. And that was actually that the German scientists who helped engineer and create the atomic bomb that ended up being dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki were actually anti-gravity aircraft that the German scientists were actually able to produce. And that they don't want you to know that they have this particular technology. And the weapons and the technology that they are making to fight Yahushua HaMashiach, who some people refer to as Jesus Christ. And it doesn't matter if you don't believe it, because they do, and they prepping for it. And I mention that because of the aspect of these people still worship the gods of antiquity to this day, and they haven't stopped. Y'all know this because we've discussed it. That's why I'm telling you that. That's how I was looking at a graduation for a fourth grader. For somebody who ain't even in pre-K, for a 4-year-old is what I meant to say. A graduation for a 5th grader. A graduation for an 8th grader. Why are they doing that? Because you don't realize and understand how important energy is to these people who worship these deities of antiquity, and why they need that energy for that worship. And why are they what are they socially engineering us towards? Again, it's not to dookie stain on the event, it's to understand the rhyme, reason, and purpose of why they doing it. So that you can at least be able to give your offspring the game that these crackers is playing. Instead of just ho-hum going along with it. But I think different, so forgive me for that. So I believe these people want to block the sun, in my opinion. The Manhattan Project. Absolutely. The Manhattan Project was them taking, the German scientists to create the atomic bomb. Because that's how they made the atomic bomb. The Germans were working on it. And then the United States government was able to get certain German scientists to defect and come over here, and they made it first and then dropped it on them people, man. Because they wanted the world to see what that looked like, along with probably sacrificing somebody to some foreign god. But come on, say so we get off here, man. Say one day I want to hear your take on CERN. Yeah, I ain't really looked into it that deep before, so I can't really speak on it too tough. Like, I've seen a few things, but I don't really believe them crackers got that it can perform what they say it can perform. Because some stuff I believe they be lying. But then I know it's some things that they have. And I know that they have them for the Lord, primarily. They may use it on each other, but for the Lord. See, they already blocking the sun with the chemtrail clouds, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? But that's another conversation. You know what I'm saying? This is just the thing of how it works. You got to remember, I never looked at stuff as a conspiracy theory because we've been on this stuff since 1994. When I say we, I'm talking about me, Fat Boy, mainly just me and him. You know, some of our other peers, you know what I'm saying, they would participate in the conversations. You know what I'm saying? But me and Fat Boy did the deep dives on this type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't look at stuff as a conspiracy theory. I looked at the connecting the dots of understanding the power structure and system of where I live at. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I seen it. And I don't look at it as a conspiracy. Just means a group of people coming together for one common cause. And a theory is something that you can't prove. This ain't no theory if I can see it. But nevertheless, say, do you believe they can manipulate the weather? They probably have some things, but I don't give them that much credit. I don't give them that much credit. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. Because I understand that they have certain technology, but I also have to hold the line that we give these Caucasians entirely too much credit. And I know that they would like for us to believe that they have capabilities and power to do certain things because they really want us to look at them as God to a certain extent. And when I say them, I'm talking about people in power, not white people in general. Not your average everyday white person. I'm talking about those who are in power. And I ain't even talking about on the local estate level. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, them people in high places, man, them the ones I'm talking about. Or as it says in Ephesians, you know, principalities and powers and spiritual wickedness in high places. You dig? That's just how I look at it. That's not to say that they could have these things. You know what I'm saying? I think they can manipulate things to a certain extent. Like when people said, oh, they made that hurricane to do this, that, there, and the third, and 8 people died. Come on, bro. Now, what I do believe they do is if there's certain things that happen, take like, say, New Orleans, you want to do certain things. I do believe they blew up them levees in order to flood that city to be able to facilitate what they wanted to do. I do believe that some of that fires and that stuff that happened in Hawaii, if they didn't set them, they let them get out of control. Those are the things that I believe that they do, that they facilitate a natural disaster to allow it to become worse in order to pull something off. Because in my opinion, if they were going to play with the weather, they would do some things that would kill more people since they believe the world is overpopulated. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of stuff that happened, don't nobody be dying. You know what I'm saying? Because them people want to kill people. So I think more people would die. I do believe that some of these things happen. It's just time and chance, and some of these things happen because it's Yahuah means to try to get people's attention. You know what I'm saying? But we getting off track. We want to go ahead and what we got left over here. Sid? Finish reading me verse 2 Chronicles 6:16. We're read 2 Chronicles 25. We got to get off here because you know we coming back early in the morning these days, man. And I need y'all to be on time. In 2 Chronicles 25 and 12. But that's just certain stuff, man. It's just to consider, man. I'm not saying any of these things are right or wrong per se. Because I'm not saying it's right or wrong to go to a graduation of any type. You know what I'm saying? And it's probably because I'm old. So just let's, you know what I'm saying? I come from a different generation. So let me be fair with that. That I don't see the need of celebrating a child for every single solitary, minute thing that they do. You know what I'm saying? Some things are just a part of the process and journey to me, and you celebrate the things of note. Okay, meaning you finished something. Now I know some of us look at it, hey, you finished elementary school, you finished middle school, and I get it, you know, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's probably because I'm old. And when I say old, meaning I come from a different time where the people who raised us had a different mentality, so they imparted different ideals. That doesn't mean that I wouldn't be there. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not the jump up, scream, holler type of individual anyway. You know what I'm talking about? So I ain't gonna do that anyway. Because boy, at Muffin's ceremony, there was some people in there that was extremely disrespectful. These people blowing air horns, screaming and hollering. You know what I'm saying? What about the churn that who people couldn't get off work, man? You know what I'm saying? But that's let me leave that alone. I didn't care for that. That's kind of disrespectful. I believe that last part you said more than anything else. No, for sure, man. I mean, these are my perspectives. These are not definitive facts. You know what I'm saying? This is my perspective on how I look at certain things, because there's no way for me to prove that, because I don't have a security clearance to know what they have or don't have. You know what I'm talking about? And what they're able to do and what they're not able to do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there's that. Go ahead, sir.
Another 10,000 left alive to the children of Yahudah.
What you reading, man?
2 Chronicles 25.
Not yet. You got to finish 12 to 14. And then you can read 2 Chronicles 25.
16.
No, the second, and 16. Say I told you to watch Oppenheimer. Yeah, Oppenheimer is one of the German scientists that helped create the atomic bomb.
It's saying Asa in the 39th year of his reign was disease in his feet, and so the disease was exceeding great. Yet in his disease he sought not Yahuah, but to the physicians.
To the physician.
And Asa slept with his fathers and died in the 41 years of his reign. And they buried him in his own sepulchre, which he had made for himself in the city of David, and laid him in the bed, which was filled with sweet odors and diverse kinds of spices prepared by the apothecary's art.
They take us back to, the bed of spices, why he was anointed with spices upon his burial, and also reading of why he was anointed by Mary. You know what I'm saying? Read 2 Chronicles 25 and 14. This was the one I was talking about, who got mad at the prophet. And the prophet said, okay, I see Yahuah is determined to kill you.
Now it came to pass, after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods.
My
and
God.
bowed down himself before them.
Why he do that, Sid?
And burned incense unto them.
God dog it.
Wherefore the anger of Yahuah was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent to him a prophet, which said unto him, why have you sought after the gods of the people, which cannot deliver their own people out of your hand? And it came to pass as he talked with him, that the king said unto him, are you made of the king's counsel?
My God, today.
Forbear, why should you be smitten? Then the prophet forbear and said, I know that Elohim have determined to destroy you, because you have done this and have not hearkened unto my counsel.
Stop. You see how the prophet said, let me stop. You know what I'm saying? He ain't battled with him and say, I'm going to prove you wrong. He said, let me stop, man. You go. He's going to kill you, man. Now, we finished what we needed to finish with the anointing oil as far as the gospel is concerned. I know we still need to do the candlestick, the altar, the brazen altar. We did the shewbread table already. Then. You know what I'm saying? We can do some more with the Ark of the Covenant that we've done. We're still a little, we done the mercy seat. Still a little stuff we could sprinkle into it. But you could understand the vessels and the kadashness and how it relates to us as individuals. We're gonna start right now because it's 11:21. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate your time. I bless you out the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua. Y'all willing, man. We be at tomorrow. The doors are open at 11:30. Y'all willing, we be able to start streaming sometime after midday. Remember that, y'all willing, man, June 26, 27, 28, man. We'll have a doggone gathering in the city, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all willing, the flyers will be done soon, and y'all can push, promote, and do all that. I get with y'all, man, because I already told y'all there's certain things that y'all willing, we find certain sites in the city when the summer comes, man. Yahuah brought me to take the children to that pertain to local Black history in Jacksonville, man. And then and try to work on some manner of curriculum, man, for them during the summer, either every other week, stop earlier. Give them 30 minutes of things that's about other things, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's government, humanities, politics, or things of this nature, to be able to give them information, man. Amen. Shalom, Sister Jimmy. Shalom, Brother Marcus. Love you too, man. Hold it down. Just to craft them to be well-rounded. Because, I know as a young man, you know what I'm saying? Peace, Barry, man. I was a different type of individual. I had different interests. I desired to read different. And you talking about somebody who watched sports, read books about sports, collected cards about sports. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about to the point that we would go in Eckers and steal them and put them in our shoes and come out 3 inches tall. You know what I'm saying? Nevertheless, I still consumed a voracious amount of information outside of the standard information that individuals would think someone of my stature and age would be into. Because some standard shit made me think about this chick I used to mess with when I was a teen, and she came when we was hanging out. I think it was me, Said, Langston, Fat Boy, you know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody else. And she was like, "Oh, y'all niggas is different." Because we were talking about, thank you who said, man. All right, shit, for sure, man. You'll be all right. You're going to be able to hold it down. Like, you know, what people would deem conspiracy theory stuff, you know, at that time, we was reading books by Dr. York, you know what I'm saying? Certain things about certain religious systems, things of that nature. And, you know, at the time, I'm probably like 19. You know, they like a year or two younger than me. You know what I'm saying? She like a year or two younger than me. And she was like, "Oh, y'all niggas different." I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because she looking at people in our age bracket are not discussing these type of things. But I'm like, this is what interests me, though. So this is what I read. And then I put my homeboys onto it. Whether they read it or not, it's different. I mean, when I was young, I used to fool with the chick. She wanted to act like, see, this is one reason why I don't like stuff like this here. Or you want to act like you interested in this because I am. Baby, get out my face. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't interested in this on your own general interest, man, I don't want to talk to you. See, I ain't one of them dudes who be like, "Oh, she's into what I'm into." Man, I ain't with that goofy behind jump, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't act like you into what I'm into, man, and you ain't really on that. Because I don't want to talk to you. Because you know what I mean by that? You're not going to actually fully engross yourself in the information so that you can comprehend it. And I find that to be offensive. You know what I'm saying? That's why I wouldn't fool with a chick if she wasn't already in the word. I don't want to fool with you, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't on this for you. You on this for me. I don't need you to be on this for me. You need to be on this for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I can't do nothing with that. Some dudes like that ego stroke. She in the water, man. That junk on me. Not things of serious nature. Hell, don't even pretend to like football if you don't like it, man. Don't do that. Don't alter and matter of fact, don't like nothing I like if you don't like it. Because I'm gonna tell you, be honest with you, I'm not gonna like what you like if I don't like it. I'm not, and I ain't gonna pretend. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not finna act like I want to take an interest in it. Because that's your interest. So you be interested in that. Because it's phony. And you really don't, you know what I'm saying? But some people don't like learning. Now, I don't want to steal Monsignor's term, but he said he's a learnitarian. You know what I'm saying? Some people don't like learning. Some people are not interested in the world around them. Some people are not interested in the world that preceded them. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. It is what it is. But I do believe that we can at least offer the children the opportunity to possibly spark that desire. You know what I'm saying? If the flame gets lit, great. If it don't, that's great too. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously that's not the direction that they should go in. But I do believe that we would be doing them a disservice if we didn't even present the opportunity. My homegirl Zara sent me a website for something. I'll show y'all that tomorrow. Y'all willing? That has I can read it to you though. That has certain course materials that we could purchase, man, as it pertains to this here. It is called the website is called the Black Classical Academy. They have a book called Shifting Perspectives from Barriers to Freedom, Volume 1 through Reconstructions, textbook workbook bundle, or the complete literacy bundle. And then there's a textbook, a workbook, Heritage Highlights bundle, Black Change Makers plus Black Revolutionaries. And then there's one with the highlight series. change maker story, 15 change maker stories of social justice activism, heritage highlight series. Then there's one, The Pen is Mightier Than the Swordfish, a student's weapon for awesome writing. And then some preschool stuff. But I still got some other stuff. I know D got the Black History card deck somewhere. I forgot where she put it at. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I was raised in a household where the wanting to know about Black people who came before you and having a genuine love for your people was of paramount importance. You know what I'm saying? Like I've told you that before. Like the household I came from, we were just instructed that you love those who look like you and to know about the people who came before you and what they accomplished. You know what I'm saying? You know, my daddy was on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what they imparted. So you know what I'm saying? And that probably plays a role in why my perspective is different. But then I was interested in religions. Then I was interested in the government. Mainly those two things. Heavy on the religion and the government. You know what I'm saying? Real interested in that. You know what I'm saying? So I immerse myself in those type of things. You know what I'm saying? I know that as a group, we talked about, you know, the gods of antiquity and the cultures of antiquity, which is basically humanities. I do want to sit down with the children and impart them things of that so that they can be able to recognize the worship of foreign deities in the particular society that they presently live in. And not just say, oh, this is pagan. But the more so to understand the workings of a culture and a society instead of just saying that's of the devil, that's a cop out, it's intellectually lazy. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a fundamental understanding from a historical point of view. Shifting perspective is the conscious act of stepping out of your habitual viewpoint of view, a situation, challenge, or relationship from an entirely new angle. It breaks mental ruts and reduces stress and forces creativity by challenging your core assumptions and expanding your emotional empathy. And I do not disagree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. You remember the fat pharmacy long gone? Yeah, Eckert's been gone for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're gonna do. But they do need to know about the ancestry of just here in Jacksonville. Like, cause I knew it was some Black history here because I've actually went to a lot of the markers in Arlington. You know what I'm saying? That talked about, you know, the Black people who own land here and did X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? But the overwhelming wealth of history as it pertains to our people is generally just not discussed at a rate that it should be, considering that most of us are from here. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew that La Villa was like Harlem, but I ain't know the depths of it. You know what I'm saying? And then I was talking about this today. Like, do you understand how different this city would be if none of those people left? If Langston Hughes didn't leave? If James Weldon Johnson didn't leave? If all those people who sparked the Harlem Renaissance stayed in the city that they started from, which was Jacksonville, Florida, and stayed in La Villa? You understand what, you know, like our whole, man, that's a different deal, man. See, when my son was locked up in the county jail, I tried to give him a book called The Miseducation of the Black Man. They would not approve it. I was salty. I read that book when I was 22 or 23, one of them. I definitely did. Where we talked about the Black Seminole Indians who got sent to Oklahoma and Texas. Not directly. I learned about that in my early 20s. Ran across that, you know what I'm saying? They don't talk about the Seminole Indians in schools here in depth. And that's the main thing that I'm referring to, really. It's a lot of things that we have to learn outside of the white folks because they're not going to teach it to you. I've been to you. They're not going to teach it. They're not going to tell you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not a part of their curriculum because it doesn't serve their aims and their purposes. You know what I'm saying? Because like we talked about that. That's why the Seminoles have that unconquered motto, because the Seminole Indians were unconquered. They weren't slaves. Like in general, this state was free. Most of the people here weren't slaves. Like D sent me that the other day when I put it out there because I had never seen that before. Say Black Wall Street was on the Indian reservation. I have read that before. That I didn't know May 20th was Florida's Juneteenth because they don't talk about it because the only thing that people talk about is Juneteenth. You know what I'm saying? Say Black Flight to the West and the Trail of Tears is the same thing. Now they did teach us about the Trail of Tears. You know what I'm saying? But it's just all of these things so they can have a particular perspective to where that hopelessness, if the system fails them, don't creep in because they never have faith in the system to begin with. You know what I'm saying? And that their faith can be in God. You feel me? See, that's why it was not lawful for us to read. Absolutely, that's why. They didn't want us to read. They didn't want us to do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? But like I told y'all, man, it's a gift to be able to know how to read. And you know what I'm saying? And then there's certain things that like Mother Sharona mentioned for the kids to get taught. Because, we used to do that before, but we would have to do it before service. You just have to get there early. Everybody wasn't getting there early, consistent enough. We in that library, didn't have enough time. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? But now because that we have the facilities, separate, there's a lot of things that cycle through my brain that now by the grace of Yahuah, we have the ability to do, and we're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to do it. So, yeah, that's that. You know what I'm talking about? But I mean, these are just my thoughts, man. It's not saying anybody's done anything right or done anything wrong or ain't done nothing at all. You know what I'm saying? These are just how I view the world around me and be able to, you know what I'm saying, share a different type of perspective. Plus, because Stanley teach them children, and I don't want to circumvent whatever direction or curriculum he got set word-wise of what he's showing them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to intervene on that. But this stuff over here, which was, you know what I'm saying, which was my focal point as a young man before I even started dealing with some word, I can do that though. But on the days that we do that, we just compress service a little bit. I ain't going to go that long with them because you can't overwhelm young minds with too much information. You know what I'm saying? So I know they sit them in the classroom, but that's a regiment system to prepare them for something. This stuff gonna be life stuff, if you would. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. So, yeah, that's what, you know what I'm saying? Now, for those of y'all who because I probably wouldn't live stream it. Now, that would be another thing that for those of y'all who are not here and you have offspring and you want them to see it, that's what the members only live stream would be for. You don't want to do it? Ain't gonna do it. But I know I'm just not finna, because the channel not for that type of information to be on a public stream. You feel what I'm saying? So that's something, hey man, that's just for us. That's over here. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have the ability to do that. That's something that Black folks you have to learn how to do. You have to learn how to gatekeep. See, we don't gatekeep the word. You know what I'm saying? We'll never do that. But when it comes to certain other things, hey man, everything ain't to be done in the open, and it ain't supposed to be accessible to everybody. You know what I'm saying? And you have to know that. Because we know we are open people. We're going to share things with everybody. I ain't one of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I'd be like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I can't show you that. No, we ain't doing that. Ain't got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just for those of y'all who down with the crew, I don't want to keep you excluded for something if you want to be a part of it. Now we have that accessibility to be able to do that so you can be a part of it. Because if not, I promise you, I'll never cut that stream on. Not for that, not for them. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do it. I'm telling you that right now. Don't even ask. Because that when it comes to Yahuah and we start doing that with them, I'm not streaming that. Not publicly. I'm not streaming that. Absolutely not. So that's all I got for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Bless y'all the house. Elohim in the name of Yahushua, y'all willing, man. I catch y'all on tomorrow, man. We make it do what it do. And until then. That's